That's what we were talking about.
Oh, they have their own.
Yes.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Well, it's good that they're protected from protection.
It's important to have protection.
Yes.
You know what else it's important to have?
I'm going to guess a beer.
You got it. There you go.
All right.
If I could get it. Oh, there you go.
What are we drinking tonight?
I have, from Dogfish Head, it's called Beer to Drink Music To. And it is a Belgian-style triple. Or tripel.
Nice.
Or tripel.
Nice. I've been watching my weight, so I've been on gin and tonic for a while.
Ah.
In fact, I shall pour myself another.
What is it? The woman in Man from U.N.C.L.E. who says, "Oh, I've been on a diet for 3 weeks. It's nothing but champagne and caviar."
Yeah.
It's the absolutely fabulous diet. Which, by the way, is actually the movie is actually happening. I saw a teaser for it. That is actually a thing. That's actually a thing that's happening.
Yeah.
So what is it?
They had threatened that for so long, and now it's happened.
But is it them?
Yeah, it's them.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay.
It's them.
It's the correct cast. It's just happening.
Yeah.
Am I pleased or frightened?
The trailers don't really do
Yes.
much. I think they're still shooting it, but
Where the hell is my other headphone?
Aren't they connected?
it ran away.
Yeah, they are, except this one's acting up, so I'm trying to find a backup.
Hi, Scott.
Hello.
Scott!
I see we're exhibiting our usual level of technical experience.
Yes, we're certainly
Why is that?
experiencing it.
We're saying you suck, John.
No, you're saying he sucks. We didn't say anything.
Yeah, I'm not backing you on that one, Scott.
God, you people just don't want to support me.
He's talking, but I don't hear anything.
Good God, are you still? Oh, Lord.
What?
I'm still waiting for John to figure out his headphone situation.
Well, he's working on his headphone situation. Look, most people just don't want to talk about their headphone situation, Scott. It's fine.
Are you embarrassed about talking regarding your headphone situation? See if...
Yeah, you get part of the sound anyway. All right. Well, I'll deal with this. So Prince died.
Yes, he did.
What the fuck?
Damn it.
I think
So-
I saw an article that they actually showed that 2016 is actually killing a whole bunch of people.
Really? Didn't know that.
Well, no, I mean it's like
That was
I noticed.
breaking news.
Experienced that at all.
well, no, it's they were saying that it's not. You know how it seems like every year a bunch of
Yeah.
people, but this year it's a lot more than usual.
Yeah, here's the weird thing. I was going to have a big, cool project this year and do a big thing about writing about music. And then the weirdest, funniest thing happened. Everybody I was writing about started dying.
Okay, this is a Stephen King story. I've read it. Stop what you're doing, Tuffley.
That's why it's not currently happening.
Perhaps I could suggest you writing about Right Said Fred.
Because it freaked me the hell out, and I put that on hold for now.
Although, to be fair, John, Right Said Fred did appear on Last Week Tonight in defiance of a Middle East dictator. So
They're
is
just
true.
hot on them already. Him really. Them.
Them, two of them. Yeah.
But yeah, Prince died. That was a bummer.
yeah,
Is there anything about
cause?
causes yet?
Yeah, I haven't heard anything.
Supposedly pneumonia. I'm thinking.
Too damn sexy for his own good.
Well, that too.
It's
But here's-
sexyitis.
the thing that just... I was trying to get tickets to one of those shows.
Oh yeah, his last show he did was in Atlanta. I think
Yeah,
it's
it was
Atlanta
at the
that killed him.
Fox. It was at the Fox.
It was at the Fox, really?
Yeah.
That seems like sort of a small venue for him.
He was doing this piano tour.
Okay.
So he was doing this thing with him and a piano, so he kind of wanted the acoustics.
Oh, okay.
Because apparently he was at one of the Janelle Monáe shows at the Fox and really liked the acoustics, so he wanted to do it there.
Well, that is how he rolls. Or rolled, I suppose.
Assuming the piano was on wheels, but yeah.
But yeah, I was really, really, really trying to get tickets to that. So anyway,
Well,
That would have been awesome.
that sucks.
yeah.
But yeah, the only good thing to report around all of this is that they apparently either was released or it leaked the collaboration between him and Miles Davis.
Oh, did that actually come out? Because okay.
Oh yeah, Billboard.com has it, and
Okay.
it sounds fucking great.
I'll have to go find that when I'm not, doing a podcast.
Yeah. Oh yeah, do that because it's really good. And that's one of those things where I'm just like, well, if there are other weird collaborations like that in the vaults,
yeah.
I'll pay good money for them.
Well, there are, and I don't know if you remember the old Kevin Smith story about the documentary he was shooting.
No, what is this?
So
I thought Kevin Smith only had one story.
no, the Superman story is there too, but apparently he was originally trying to get a Prince song for Jay and Silent Bob, and apparently Prince wanted him to film a documentary.
In return for the song?
No. He had an album coming out or something, and he wanted to talk about race and religion and stuff, and apparently he misinterpreted what dogma meant and thought Kevin Smith would be good for that. I don't know why, but
Well, he might have been.
what?
Was this when he was becoming a Jehovah's Witness?
I think this might have been afterwards. This would have been This would have been probably Jay and Silent Bob. When did Jay and Silent Bob come out? 99. So yeah, about that point.
Yeah, Dogma was 98, so... No, Jay and Silent Bob was 2001.
Oh, okay. But yes, he would have been, I believe so, right about that point. But, so the story goes, two things Kevin Smith figured out, that one, every room in the house had a mic was mic'd. So
Okay.
that Prince could record in any room of the house.
Yeah, that's the reason.
And the other thing he discovered was after he finished filming or with his crew or whatever, one of Prince's assistants basically said, "Yeah, thanks. We don't know if this is ever coming out." And he goes, "Well, wait a minute. He just does these things?" Oh yeah, there's hundreds of videos that we've produced for him, and they're in the vault, and they've never come out yet.
Oh, I know how that is.
I just had an episode go up today.
Of what? You had another episode.
podcast!
You had another episode, WEJ?
That totally wasn't where I was going with that, but fine. Just
I was actually
go
more
there.
referring to myself, but okay.
Okay.
Oh, okay. Oh, that's fine. You can pick on yourself. That's cool.
Okay. You can pick your friends. Oh, never mind. We're not going there.
Just don't pick your nose.
I wasn't going to go there, but thank you.
It's me. Of course I'm going there.
Okay. But, yeah, kind of a bummer about the Prince thing.
And just, it seems like so many, and Patton Oswalt's wife died?
Yeah.
I mean, what the fuck is going on? I mean,
Well-
is there some? I know we have some people who follow like astrology. Are we under a bad sign or something, and no one told us? I mean, what?
Well, you're constantly under a flashing orange caution sign.
So is that what
No,
that's
no,
about?
no, no. No, that's the red light.
Is it?
Oh, Roxanne, no.
But seriously, it's like we're like in the whatever the opposite of the age of Aquarius was. You know, it's like we're in the age of fuck you, you're gonna die.
Well, Guns N' Roses did reunite, sort of. So, okay.
Well, until Axel got another gig.
Yeah, I was gonna throw that out there. I was like, if you're in Guns, let's say you've agreed to be in some concentrated form, and I mean this concentrated in the way that orange juice concentrate happens, of Guns N' Roses, where it's basically 3 of the guys, and you're the other 2 guys, and you're not Axl. And then Axl decides to make your comeback performance an ad for your upcoming gig with another band. How does that make you feel?
Wait.
Probably exactly what you were expecting out of Axl Rose.
Yeah, kind of.
Okay, so my question is,
Yes.
who in the hell gave him another gig?
AC/DC.
AC/DC.
Which is the other thing that really annoyed me.
What?
Yeah, because
Yes,
what's his? Oh God, now I can't remember his name.
Brian Johnson.
I want to say Angus Young. Okay, yeah.
What the fuck?
Brian Johnson can't tour anymore. He can't sing anymore. He's going deaf.
Oh, okay, wait. So,
He can host Top Gear now. That is the perfect job for him, and he wants to
It
do it.
it is. It kind of is.
Sorry,
But,
that job's already taken by Joey Tribbiani.
Well, they just have to fire, 4 other people. That's fine.
Wait. Who all besides Matt LeBlanc and Chris Evans is on board with Top Gear?
Two, was it 2? Well, one's a rally racer. The other guy, I think, did YouTube videos. And then the race car, the lady race car driver that beat Clarkson around the Nürburgring. And she's awesome, by the way. But there's like 6 hosts.
Yeah, so let's see. Well, first of all, I saw that AC/DC, they're calling him a guest vocalist for the rest of the tour, so they can just finish the tour.
Well, they're doing that now, but the thing is, and the thing that really annoyed me was that in their original release, they didn't really say that. And also, when Brian Johnson actually did put out something, it both made it sound like he is no longer in the band at all. Because he said in his statement he said he plans to record.
Okay.
Pointedly, he said he plans to continue recording. What he doesn't say is with AC/DC.
Well, okay. You don't think the band actually kicked him out, though, do you?
It's from their release. It kind of sounds like it. Which, now here's the thing. It's perfectly valid because I think the Youngs write all the music, right? The Youngs write all the songs. So everybody who doesn't write the songs has to tour. Take out the commitment thing. So the only way that some of the other guys make money is by touring. Because they don't really get anything from the record unless unless you write the songs, as we've learned.
But don't you have to make the whole world sing with those songs, or no?
No, that's only Manilow, and stop it. I saw that coming. Stop it.
So yeah, it's another racing journalist, and then yes, I'm assuming I'm pronouncing this wrong. Sabine Schmidt.
Yeah,
Schmitz.
yeah.
Yes, and
Sabine. Yes, Sabine.
yeah. So I apparently,
She's awesome, by the way, because she was the one that beat Clarkson around the Nürburgring in a van.
right. Yeah, so apparently, I was wondering, because Guy Martin seemed like a natural for it, right?
Yeah.
But he apparently turned it down.
Yeah, there's a list of people who actually turned this down. But Brian Johnson wasn't available when they were asking.
Well, now it's obvious that he just needs to come in and, like you said, since they have 18 hosts,
Just fire somebody.
rotate one out.
Is Michael Strahan going there, or is it Kelly Ripa that's going there?
I think they're both going. I think Kelly is going to American Top Gear. Which the audience will confuse her with Rutledge Wood. It's fine.
Wow.
You're welcome.
Rob's here.
Hi, Rob.
Hey, Rob.
Rob's silent.
Rob is communicating via semaphore.
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh, there
okay,
you go.
good.
No.
There he is.
What's
Good.
up?
My next joke was going to be about
I was
interpretive
fixing
dance.
the headphone.
By
Okay.
the way, congratulations to the Blues for knocking out Chicago. That was awesome.
Finally.
Finally.
Yeah.
Getting over the hump.
You don't understand. We
St. Louis
never
needs
ever
something.
win in the first round of the playoffs.
I know. No, I know.
St. Louis needs something to root for these days.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, yeah. Plus it's the Blackhawks because Lord knows we're not going to beat the Cubs. So
And
Yeah.
also, it for me, it made the
It's-
playoffs a hell of a lot more interesting now that both LA and New York, LA and Chicago are out. Somebody new wins. That's what that means.
well, San Jose's still in, and the Penguins. But what's interesting about it is that in many ways this was probably the Stanley Cup. I don't think the rest of the playoff series are going to be this good. Every single game was a nail biter. It's like literally every one of the games you're just like tense and you're like, oh come on, And it was like really good hockey for like a week. So
Yeah.
most of us were figuring that if the Blues lost, at least they could say we showed up. Where in the past we haven't won a series since I think 2008 or something,
Yeah.
and at least we didn't lose in 4 games. So yeah, which is nice.
Congratulations, I think.
Yeah, what are we
Yes.
talking about?
Sports balls.
Oh,
I think it's something about the
Well,
Blues.
John, you must be excited because yeah. Well, John, at least Tampa Bay's still in.
Tampa Bay's in, and
So
playing the Islanders, so got a decent chance.
yeah, the Islanders scare me. Well, please beat the Islanders.
So-
who would be?
So now I play Dallas.
What's up with
Who, what?
Dallas?
I don't know. Rob keeps cutting out.
They canceled
No,
Dallas.
I'll just.
Rob
No,
shot.
we're playing
Rob shot
Dallas
JR.
in the next round.
By the way, Kristen killed Jon Snow. Oh,
Wait.
I'm sorry. That was a spoiler.
Really?
Damn it.
Wait.
Sorry.
Wait,
Well, that's
Christians
okay.
Christians
No one will hear
killed
this
Jon
for
Snow?
3 months.
What?
Yeah, Kristen killed Jon Snow. Sue Ellen's sister. Yeah.
So did we watch the
Really?
Game of Thrones?
That's exciting.
I did not. I'm way behind. I'm way behind on everything.
Well, it was just this last weekend. I mean, you're not that
Yeah,
far
I am too.
behind.
No, I am way behind on Game of Thrones, John.
Actually, you know what? With Game of Thrones, I did want to comment on a couple of things. I like the time jump, but I did think the introduction of Beyonce was a bit wrong. But that's okay. Wait, that wasn't Game of Thrones? I mean,
What
it's
the
been a
hell
while.
was that?
It's been a while since it's a Guns N' Roses video. That's what it was. That was her Guns N'
It was-
Roses video.
It
But
was
who
I couldn't
replaced
figure
Alex
out
Rose?
what the hell I was watching.
That was her Guns N' Roses video, and I swear to God, I thought when she dived into the water, I thought we were going to see dolphins, and I thought, okay, she really is playing from Axel's playbook.
I switched
What?
back to Home and Garden Channel.
What are you-
but-
Wait, Axl Rose can talk to dolphins? What?
I know, right?
So is
there
Axl
anything
Rose
he
going to
can do?
play?
I'm utterly confused. Why?
Why? What?
We're utterly confused why you keep cutting out after the first 3 words you say.
You're stunned. You're stunned. I know. And
I
Game
don't
of
know. I'll
Thrones
just
does
try
that
back.
to
Hold
people.
on.
Is Axl Rose Black Manta?
Yes.
I'm really confused. Okay.
Yes. And Aquaman at the same time. Figure that one out.
Well, that's
Really?
a bold artistic choice.
Carl Drogo.
Aqualad don't surf, Widge.
Oh God. So Rob.
He
Well,
dropped
this is
out. I
great.
think he's trying to
Okay, all right.
restart.
Oh,
He wa-
Widge.
Hey Scott.
Have you seen the season premiere of 12 Monkeys?
No.
Also, again, time jump, Beyonce, same thing. Weird.
Is this like is Beyonce kind of like Crisis on Infinite Earths, and that
Yes.
she appears in all these different shows, and then some of them just the skies are pink, and you
Yes.
wonder, why did I buy this?
Yes. Absolutely. Although, the album's not that bad. I couldn't figure out what the video was supposed to be, but the album's not that bad. So,
I didn't realize there was a new album.
yeah, there is. Oh, by the way, there's a new album. She does this now. She does this la 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 album.
So this was
Now-
another stealth release?
Yeah, this is another stealth release. It was streaming on Tidal for the weekend, and then once Lemonade
That's why nobody heard of it.
Yeah, seriously.
Once Lemonade played a couple of times on HBO, then she released it on iTunes yesterday. So
But is Lemonade a series or?
I think I heard the term visual album.
yeah, that's what they were calling it because they were videos.
So is that the last of it that we're gonna see?
No.
Oh fuck.
Is someone forcing John to watch Beyonce videos? Because John, we can get you some help.
It's on before Game. It was on before Game of Thrones, and I suspect it probably will continue to be.
No,
So-
it's not an ongoing series, and
okay.
that no, you're confusing that with Vinyl, and that's another train wreck. But
Oh, I haven't even attempted to watch Vinyl yet.
oh
Yeah,
god,
it's not very good.
and yeah, they like kicked out. They kicked out most of this season's showrunners to get other people in for next year. So that kind of gives you an idea of, okay, why HBO commits to 2 years of a show just blindly is crazy. But
Well,
sometimes you do get a Deadwood. For every Deadwood you get a John from Cincinnati, which they had the good sense to pull after the first season.
well, I mean,
Yeah, but then they pulled Carnival too after what, 2, 3 seasons? Two
Yes,
seasons.
and they ended it 2 seasons with a cliffhanger.
Yeah.
That pissed me off.
and see what's sad is I like the cast. I like Bobby Cannavale, or
I do.
yeah, I'm
Olivia
probably
Wilde
destroying
and-
his name.
Yeah, and yeah, I liked all those people, and I like the fact that a lot of the people from Boardwalk were involved, and
Yeah, that's half the reason I watched, and I made it maybe 30 minutes in, and I just
Yeah.
went, I don't give a fuck about anything on this screen, and I have other things I need to watch. So,
Did you
Although-
happen to?
oh, go ahead. No,
I was just
after
going to
you.
ask you if you happen to see Jungle Book.
I did not. But, have we talked about the fact that I finally saw Dawn of Justice? I can't remember.
did you?
I
Did
did.
you?
Oh no, we have not talked about that yet
No!
because last
Okay.
we talked about it, we were trying to convince you not to go.
Yes.
Well,
So,
Or to
well,
wait for the Dollar Theater.
no, well, we went when it was cheapest, so I didn't give him a lot of money.
How spoilery are we about to get here?
Let me put it to you this way.
Does it matter?
Nothing's
No.
gonna be revealed that wasn't revealed in the trailer.
Yeah, no, it doesn't really matter.
Yeah.
Nothing really matters.
Because here's the thing, they really
Anyone can see.
Anyone can see that, Scott.
they marginalized Superman in what was supposed to be a sequel. That's what they did.
Well, see, part of the problem is that Ben Affleck was great,
Yes.
and I liked
Yeah,
his
he was very
Batman.
And Godot's going to be fun. I hope the Wonder Woman film is as fun as as it's seeming it's going to be.
Right, and she was good.
She was good.
But the fight sequences with Batman were freaking awesome. I mean, like, great.
Yeah, but he killed people, Widge.
Who
Yeah,
cares?
whatever. Yeah, whatever. This is obviously post Robin's death, post Joker.
It could be a Justice universe. It doesn't matter. It's a different Batman.
Yeah, they're all different Batmans. So
They all happened, Wedge.
I know.
Until
I
Superboy fixed everything.
really liked the. I really liked
How
the
dare you with the Supergirl spoilers? Sorry.
flash forward sequence with the dark side nod. That was great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it sounds like from what Future Flash was saying that they may be going the way of Injustice,
Yeah.
Right. Yep.
which would be interesting because that was a great comic book series. Really enjoyed that. That was nuts. But no, it was fairly terrible. Partly because it
Didn't have a plot.
well, I mean, it did have a plot. It was just a pretty shit plot. And
Was it terrible, or was it just sort of middling?
no, it was terrible.
Well, it didn't make any sense.
Well, barely, but here's what I really resent is when you've gone to all this trouble to point out
And all
that,
this money.
no, not even, well, yeah, but this is probably the cheapest thing in the movie. You went to all this trouble to make sure you underline the fact, by the way, his mom's name is Martha.
Yeah.
So that when we get to the payoff, you think your audience is fucking stupid, so you've got to show them again.
Yep.
It's like, no.
No.
I'm like, and to be honest, that was actually not a bad idea. But the whole flashback, that was just shit. What were you gonna say, Scott?
Now, I was going to say that Batman knew. I haven't seen the movie because I don't want to waste the money. But does Batman?
Sorry. Go ahead.
Does Batman figure out what his secret identity, Superman's secret identity is? In the movie.
I'm trying to recall. I know that Superman knows who Batman is.
Well, no,
Right.
he does eventually figure it out because he sees Martha Kent, and so
Yeah.
he's
So he
Batman,
does know that.
Oh, that is true. Yeah.
but that's later.
For
That's
the
later.
mother plot point to work, he almost has to.
Yeah, but that's after.
Well, the reason I thought about it is I was thinking about it was he is, they always say that, Batman is one of the world's greatest detectives, and it's not until the big fight scene he figures out Superman's mom's name.
Well,
I mean, it's
Well,
not like
nobody really
he was.
cared.
That's
Until
really
then.
not the thing you want Batman to be smarter about. You want Batman to be smarter about having been manipulated. You would think he would have figured that out sooner.
Yeah, and it's not even like it was a cool manipulation, saying like Tower of Babel or something.
Yeah, you would have thought, okay, he probably would have figured this out sooner. Hi, Rob.
Hey, is that better?
Yeah.
So
Hold
far,
on. Okay,
and
good.
Okay, let me ask you. I'm curious about your opinion. Are you in favor of sort of the more dour, more, the way they're portraying Superman as more
Boring.
dark? shall we say?
Who are you asking?
Just
Anybody?
generally.
Oh,
No.
Okay.
Because
No,
here's
I'm
the
fine
thing,
with
there's you don't have to make Superman tonally correct to your Batman to have Batman appear in your Superman story. That makes no goddamn sense whatsoever.
and there's no dichotomy between the two of them.
I mean, you can have the the charming kind of American way kind of Superman that Cavill could play if allowed to, because we've seen that in another film. But and then have your dark brooding Affleck Batman, which he was great. So you could have that in a film and not have the two characters be the same tone.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the thing is, I've been reading up on this stuff, and it really seems to me that Warner Brothers or DC, whoever it is so desperate to be not Marvel. That's why they're going this way. Is like, what's Marvel doing? Okay, they're being light and fun. It's like, okay, we can't be that. We've got to be serious and dark and
Well, the thing that bothers me is, and you see the trailers for Suicide Squad, and you're thinking, how come the villains get to be funny?
Well, because Deadpool was funny.
Well, yes, but again, even before Deadpool actually came out, they were slanting the Suicide Squad trailers that way.
Right. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, I admit.
In fairness,
when they put out the trailer with the
Now, are they shooting it to make it funnier? Yes, but they were already leaning that way before Deadpool came out.
what?
I don't know. So, so yeah, no, I did not like. I thought the shoehorning in of all the other appearances of the heroes was crappish.
Yes, it was.
Yes.
I did like.
It's very, very convenient they have video of those things.
Oh yes, I did. I did rather enjoy Jeremy Irons as Alfred though, because I thought
Yes.
he was the right tone of.
Yeah.
Because by the time you got to Dark Knight in the comics, Alfred was just beyond sarcastic.
Yeah,
And
I think you're right.
yeah, so I enjoyed that, but I think you're right. I mean, if nothing else, Alfred would have clued him in as to what was going on, because I mean I did like that, saying like Dark Knight Rises. Was it Dark Knight Rises or?
Where he has to figure out who Talia is until the end of the film.
What? No. Hey, we've all been distracted by loss of blood flow to the brain, okay?
Oh, I know. Yeah.
Yeah. Now, and we have not, and Tuffley, you're right, in the comics, I'm sure he knew some kind of weird tantric thing to keep enough blood in the brain so that he could, function, but this is a different Batman.
No, Grant Morrison actually did write that.
I am not surprised in the least. Was that where Sting became Batman?
Or Batman became Sting. Batman Inc.
That just frightens me beyond all belief.
And also, it amazes me that it really shows how bad this is, that the executives at Warner Brothers really couldn't see that this was going to be a problem.
Well, no, I mean it shouldn't amaze you, because this is just them acting like themselves.
I know, but it's just like, really, there's not one sensible person?
Well, look at it this way, Scott. It's like you could ask the same question about the prequel trilogy for Star Wars, right? Because everyone goes, wait, was there not one person there who knew that it was going to be shit?
Well, what the difference with that is, you had like Lucas at like the top of his popularity, where everybody thought he was like a geek god. So it was, and he's probably surrounded himself with people who were like total yes men.
No, exactly.
The guy.
But what I'm saying is that the executives have done the same thing, And if you're in the middle of a $300 million film, and you're getting a nice paycheck from it, you're not going to tell somebody they're fucking up, and you're probably not going to tell Zack Snyder that because he's got the keys to the kingdom for the entire franchise.
Not anymore.
What?
I mean, have they talked about scaling him back?
They've talked about it, but they haven't done it yet.
Yeah, they only added Miller as a producer.
So basically, I mean, it's the same thing with like Jim Cameron and Avatar. It's like surely someone knew that story was shite and needed help and had holes in it.
They're making 2 more, WEJ. No,
I
3
know.
more.
No,
More.
I thought 4.
Well, it's
They're doing
interesting.
4, right?
Yeah, they're doing 4 Avatar films.
In 3 years, that's what it was.
Yep.
Right?
Why? Why?
It made money. See, that's the thing. It made money.
Visually, it was awesome.
Visually, yes, it was amazing, and it was some of the best 3D I've ever seen.
What I'm curious about is what they do for Animal Kingdom.
What?
They're building an Avatar land in Animal Kingdom.
Oh,
that's
right.
true. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, I don't know what the hell.
I admit, I am kind of curious to see what they do there.
Yeah,
You just want to see the tail sex.
Don't we all?
Well, that's gonna be a surprise for the kids.
hang on. Let me think about this. No, Scott, no.
Your mouth says no.
Yes, it does. It does.
But your tail says yes.
I do not have a tail, prehensile or otherwise.
Wait, Scott, is this how they bring back Pleasure Island?
Oh wow!
Pleasure Island.
Wow!
What Pleasure Island? That's been closed for years.
Nice.
So
Well
you did see
played.
they closed the back lot of Disney Hollywood, Disney Hollywood, right, or whatever they're calling it now, Hollywood Disney.
Not MGM.
No, sorry, it hasn't been MGM for a while.
No, I know. I was just saying not MGM. We've called it other
prep
things,
for
but not
Star
MGM.
Wars.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're
So-
prepping for the whole Star Wars area
So, well,
and Toy Story apparently.
yeah. When are they getting the Marvel stuff? Because aren't they getting rid of the Marvel stuff for Nintendo? At Universal?
They're getting rid of the Marvel stuff for Nintendo.
Really? What? Wait.
What?
Universal made a deal to build a Nintendo area of their.
Oh,
in their park.
Seriously?
oh.
Hold on.
Yeah,
Oh, okay. So,
Now,
so they're
does that
trading
mean they're
out.
getting rid of Marvel?
yeah.
Okay.
Because either they're about to get, or either they're about to lose all of the licenses, or they struck a deal with Nintendo, and they're going to build a Nintendo. I know they're going to build a Nintendo area of the Orlando park quite soon, actually.
Let's see.
I'm looking it up now too.
Well, but them getting Nintendo, does that necessarily mean that they're getting rid of Marvel?
It doesn't necessarily, but if they've got a clear space to put it somewhere, right?
Let's see. Basically, the Disney
They do have some
Shanghai,
space.
the Disney Shanghai Resort has announced that they're putting in a Marvel area.
Yep.
Hold on. Damn
What?
autoplay. Screw you, Orlando Sentinel.
There is a Imagineer who's been put in charge of Marvel theme park attractions. Really? I'm reading this out of the Examiner. It says Marvel recently canceled its Marvel Experience show. Really?
Yeah, it canceled the touring show.
It wasn't that great anyway.
And it was horrible to see to the orcas.
Wow.
Well, a lot of those third-party touring things, those deals were made before a lot of that stuff. Yeah, so some of those things the plug got pulled on that because Disney wanted quality control.
Yeah.
Let's see.
I guess they don't.
No, go ahead.
I was just going to say, I guess they don't have the ice capades anymore, which is kind of sad.
No, they do.
Hold on. Actually, I'm reading something that reminded me of something. They are, so I don't see why they would be getting rid of islands, the Marvel area.
Say what?
What?
They're rebuilding the Hulk roller coaster. It's currently destroyed right now, and it's being rebuilt. It's being refurbished.
So it was smashed, you're saying?
Well,
and also Doctor Doom's Fearfall apparently is being done.
Okay.
Oh no, it's being.
Well, Mike.
Oh, hold on! Whoa! Okay, I'm just reading this. This is coming off of Attractions magazine. Top rumors for 2016.
Ooh.
The internet has everything. So apparently, the rumor is that they're gonna get rid of Doctor Doom's Fearfall. Sure, why not? It's really not that great anyway. Storm Force Acceleration and Cafe 4 are rumored to be on the chopping block for a new Avengers attraction, utilizing ride vehicle technology from Harry Potter and Escape from Gringotts, which would be cool, assuming that it works.
Yeah, and also meaning it's one of the same rides, just carbon copied with different stuff.
Yeah.
Oh yes.
Now here's a question. Here's a question. I don't know. We might need to summon a lawyer.
How the hell long does Universal have the rights then?
Well, that's what I was going to say. According to the Examiner article, the rumor is the contract expires in 2050.
Oh, okay.
Oh, okay. Well then.
But basically, the deal is that the Universal Marvel stuff cannot change from what they have, and basically, let's see, what is it? Disney can't get rid of the contract by itself. Cannot use the Marvel characters in any theme park in Florida. They, cannot. It says Universal cannot substantially change its Marvel offerings beyond what it currently has. So I guess beyond means they could do another Hulk coaster, maybe.
But can they do another Avengers thing? Do they have like a big Avengers thing already?
No, not according to this.
Well, they didn't have a big Avengers thing anyway. It was all X-Men characters, I thought.
Yeah. Universal must maintain its current Marvel attractions to Marvel expectations or lose their license, and must get Marvel approval for any additional or future use beyond those existing attractions. So there's no way they could do an Avengers ride without Marvel having blessed it. And apparently, the rumor is, like we've been talking about, Disney and Universal are talking to each other. I'm sure they are. They were saying, here's what Disney could do: buy the contract out, kill off the characters Universal uses. Basically, doing the Fantastic Four thing.
Except one of those is Spider-Man, though. Spider-Man.
Well, technically they killed Peter twice.
Yep.
Now this is the question. Oh, sorry. Go on.
And we're not through Civil War II yet, and somebody's gonna die.
Oh God. Basically, they could aggressively go after them for maintenance of the attractions. So they'd have to either, perform to Marvel's expectations or leave it alone. Basically, yeah. So what they were saying is they bring up the Nintendo thing too. So that could be a replacement for Marvel, but it's not certain. And the fifth option is violate the contract. It says it's been done before.
What are they going to do?
Disney, back when Michael Eisner was CEO, broke a deal that prevented Disney from building convention facilities on its Florida property.
Well, Eisner was an asshole, so I don't know if that.
Well,
No, he was a special
business.
asshole. No, he was a special asshole. You know that story about. Okay. The first thing I was going to ask was, let's say in Disney Shanghai, they build a Marvel ride that just coincidentally happens to be very close to something Universal wants to do. Can Marvel then say you can't do that because we have it already?
Universal only owns the rights east of the Mississippi in the United States. That's it.
So it doesn't matter what other.
They can do whatever they want in Disneyland.
Yeah, they can do it in California. I would imagine California Adventures gets renamed a Marvel property. That's what I bet you will happen.
That might be their strategy.
Well, they're getting rid of they're getting rid of California anyway. So
yeah,
the whole state.
Yes.
Yes.
Finally.
I wish they'd do that for Florida. I'd love Disney to take over Florida.
It's the Republicans' last-ditch effort to stop Trump.
Wow.
According to Attractions magazine, which is on the internet, so it's always correct.
Of course.
Attractions.
Not as correct as Wikipedia, though.
No.
Nintendo Land is going to replace Universal's Kid Zone, which, by the way, is also a ghost town. Because it has things like Woody Woodpecker, which, of course, every kid knows these days.
Is this the area that has, like, the news strip character Kathy and stuff like that?
No. That's at Islands Adventure. No, this is actually at Universal Studios.
Oh, okay, all right.
Yeah, so the Kid Zone has things like SpongeBob SquarePants, which, of course, is no longer around. Curious George, Barney, Fievel, and Woody Woodpecker.
Wow.
And E.T. And E.T. is over there, too. All of which... Yeah, Fievel. Yes, Fievel has an area over there.
Speaking of tails. Yeah.
They could form the Avengers.
More like Pet Avengers.
So, according
Just
to...
get Lockjaw there and you're set.
Quick, Fievel, find your parents. Walk past them lots.
So again, according to this, the E.T. adventure, which has always been on the chopping block, is going to be destroyed and replaced with some Nintendo ride. And the rest of the property, the rest of that area over there will be repurposed. Because, I mean, Barney, is Barney still a thing? I don't think it is.
Well, to be fair, if you blow on the cartridge,
Scott?
everything... Oh, never.
What?
Scott, is Barney still a thing?
Why are you asking me about Barney?
The last thing...
You know why. Don't play like you don't know.
The last new item in regards to American Tail, based on what I can see, is a platform game from 2002 called Fievel's Gold Rush. That's it. So the franchise itself, at least if we believe Wikipedia, which again is righter than Attractions Magazine, has been stagnant for 14 years.
Yeah.
Wow.
Which that only means, only one thing can happen now, a Netflix series.
No, they're going to be busy doing Dread. They're going to be busy doing Dread.
Yes.
Actually, they won't be able to fund Dread because they have to spend so much money on the American Tail series.
No,
it's a spin-off. American Tail is a spin-off of Dread.
Awesome.
Being reimagined with...
Maybe Dread can find Fievel's parents.
Wait, Rob, check it out. So what if Crazy Cat is basically Judge Death, right?
Yes, exactly. Yes.
The American Tail universe version of Judge Death.
Yes. It would be awesome.
No. Don't say universe because you know what'll happen then. It'll go in the same universe with G.I. Joe and Mask.
Oh, wait, and Bill Hader could do the voice.
I'm fine with that. Absolutely. Da da da. I like that.
I can't believe we've talked about American Tail.
In other words, Universal Studios sucks.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty
That's
much.
what we should really take out of this.
Hey, Rob.
Except for Harry Potter area.
Rob, it's just like every other Tuesday.
It follows a mannequin.
You.
And Friday, I'm in love, so.
Well, I'm sorry to hear that.
Although Monday you can fall apart. It is in the rules.
Yeah. Tuesday, Wednesday, break my heart.
Uh-huh.
So, Rob.
Yeah.
You wanted to discuss the new companion.
Oh, yeah, Tuffley. What do you think?
I like her. What?
But,
What? What is wrong with that? Why is
No,
that
nothing.
getting
No. Yes, Rob, you want to discuss it? Yes, Tuffley, what do you think?
She was in
Well, what's
one
my thought?
scene. She was in one scene, but it
Look.
was fun. It was
We
fun.
read the script, and we were behind time, so we had to speed up a little, all right? No, I think it was really cool. Which I don't know if you saw this, but they basically, instead of saying, "Hey, here's the new companion," and wheeled her out, they filmed a scene last week with her, like a 2-minute scene with her, just sort of like a teaser trailer with just the companion. And I think that actually worked because you sort of got a feel for, The new rumor now, though, Tuffley, that's interesting is that she's from the 80s.
I read that. I read that. That sounds good.
I kind of hope that's the case, although, I mean, because the complaint is, oh, well, contemporary companions, blah, 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 blah. Can't we have somebody from the past? Can't we have an alien? Can't we have...
Well, also, I think it's not just that. I think it's also another young, smart, attractive girl, which is nice, but it's the same, we need some variety.
Fine. But no, it's okay. It's fine. And here's the thing. The bright side of all this is if she sticks around for longer than one season, Moffat can only ruin her one.
I think Moffat is sort of taking notes from Chibnall for part of this. Because Chibnall was involved in the casting.
That would be good.
Now,
So,
I have a hunch what they're doing.
So is
I have a
Capaldi
hunch.
sticking around after Moffat leaves? Is that what we're getting now?
Capaldi is doing one more season. So he's going to do this season, right?
Uh-huh.
The one that the last Moffat season, and then one season of Chibnall.
Okay.
So, yeah, because he did this sort of courtesy thing that, like, when a new showrunner comes to a British show, he says, well, I haven't been invited back, I guess I'm going to leave. And then when he's properly, sort of said, hey, I want you, we like you, then he agrees to stay. It's a very sort of proper sort of formality thing, unless you're Christopher Eccleston. So that's kind of the way it went down, sort of. Now, what I think they're going to do toughly is just by watching those two, I have a feeling we're going to get the McCoy Ace sort of thing going on.
Well, that would be kind of fun too. I just really would like the show to be like fun for a little while and not like Doomsday all the time, because that's getting a bit old.
Well, Moffat's got one more year to like do everything he's wanted to do, so we'll probably get one more story with Missy. And I think the sad thing is we don't get the Podnoster game for this year.
No, although the fact that she did get nominated for a BAFTA for that performance, they'll probably keep Gomez around for a bit, I think.
I hope so. We could see.
That'd be nice.
Yeah. But I like the fact that it's a female that's not necessarily impressed with the Doctor.
Yeah.
And I like the fact that it's a person of color. I guess would you say Anglo-African or African? I don't know how they say that over there. But like Freema, it's a person of color, which is interesting. And it adds a completely different dimension to the show that it needed to get, because it was kind of getting, even with Capaldi, companions were sort of starting to sort of churn out a lot of the same way. And I think those two have sort of this chemistry. You can sort of see that it's going to get interesting. I just don't know how they're going to bring her in, and that will also be interesting.
So, yeah, that was my next question. Is she actually in the Christmas special, or did they already do the Christmas special, or what?
I don't know. I'm guessing they already did the Christmas special, and she's probably in it, and then maybe comes in the first story, or she... What I think may happen is
it's not out of the realm of possibility that Moffat will basically wait and introduce her in the first episode of the next series, and she not appear in the Christmas special.
It also could be too that she isn't in the Christmas special, but does the whole accidentally walks into the TARDIS thing like they used to do, which would be great. And it also could be that after the credits, sometimes like after the Christmas specials, they do little bit scenes. Yeah. So,
But just based off the 2 minutes, she seems fine. So we'll see. Well, we're gonna have to wait a year to find out anyway. So.
Yeah, I mean, I think they're going to start filming. I'm thinking they're going to try to crank something out before Christmas. Because I don't know. I just got a hunch. But I think it's, I think if people want to watch it again, it needs something interesting. Now, what didn't hurt is, you see the shirt, Tuffley?
So what?
Her shirt? Did you see her shirt?
I did not see her shirt.
The timing could not be more. It was completely unintentional.
Was that a Prince shirt?
The timing couldn't. It was a Prince, yes, from the first or second Prince tour. Yeah. Oh, the timing could not be, yeah.
Well, see, here's the thing, because the actress had been talking about Prince a lot over the weekend. I'm sitting there thinking, okay, you're about to get this life-changing television gig. You're not even hinting that, and all your stuff is entirely about Prince. Big ups. Because normally, once that happens, people usually start talking about them a lot. But
yeah.
So that was
and
cool.
She's relatively unknown too, which is going to be kind of interesting. There's not a lot of I've seen her in before. The only time that's worked was with Catherine Tate, where it's like, I'd seen her in a bunch of other stuff, and I felt great about it. But yeah.
And she's with the Royal Shakespeare Company.
Yeah, she's with the Royal. Yeah, I was about to say. So she's done a lot of Shakespeare Company stuff.
Yeah, and as Peter Capaldi said, we won't hold that against her.
Nice.
Although I
mean,
see. Go ahead. Sorry.
I think the whole key is like with casting the companion with this guy is can he go have a drink with her? I sort of am getting the vibe that is the sort of rule is like with Matt Smith it was kind of like anyone could hang out with him. I think the same thing was with Tennant. But I think with Capaldi, it's like, could I actually spend a lot of time with this person? I think that's sort of what he wants, and I think he wants to be, from everything I've heard, he likes to be in a position where if he's got young actors on the set, he mentors them. They were saying that like some of the people that had like smaller roles in the first, in last season, first day of shooting. Even if he's not supposed to be on set, Peter Capaldi shows up with their trailer, knocks on the door, welcomes them to the show, and yeah. So I think that's very much a thing. Is sort of how the chemistry is, the off-camera chemistry. That's a huge. So because I wonder if he knows the scripts are so bad that if he doesn't have on-screen chemistry, it's all going to fall apart.
That sounds right from what I've seen.
Yeah. So maybe she'll be good enough to watch again.
What's that?
Said maybe she'll be good enough that you'll watch again.
Maybe.
Yeah. Sorry. You can just put all the good Peter Capaldi bits into one like little short reel, and then which is like, okay, I'm done.
Yeah, I'd be fine with that.
I mean, the one thing I do hope is that they don't, just shit all over of this season and just make this season absolutely terrible. Because Moffat's got one more season, so my fear is it's going to be the last Matt Smith season where they crammed so much stuff in there that it was just unwatchable at points, and then all this really great talent just sort of got wasted. So we'll see. And the fact that Chibnall wants him to stay, which is going to be great, and he said that his idea is to be scarier than Moffat, and it's supposed to be a show that has an element of fright to it, and he's going to bring that back. So I'm kind of excited about that too.
Yeah, but you can still have fright and fun.
Yes, but I think that's how you can do it with this guy. I'm not sure you could do that with Tennant or Matt Smith. I don't think you could. So.
Well, yeah. Speaking of fun and fright, I did see Green Room.
Oh yeah, what did you think of that?
It was good. It was pretty good. It did not pull any punches, but yet it kept somewhat of a sense of humor, and you had evil Picard.
And there was like a sizable Prince joke in that one too, wasn't there?
Yes, there was. It got a. I saw it basically the day of the news broke. Huge props to Atlantic Station where I saw it, because when I arrived, they were blasting Prince music through all the speakers there. But yeah, there was, and it got cheers in the screening.
Yeah.
So no, it was good.
Nice.
It'll do well on video.
You know what I saw that I really liked was Midnight Express. Or Midnight. Sorry, the new the new Shannon film. One's based on
Midnight Special.
That's it. God, I keep doing that all week. Sorry, no sleep. Yeah, Midnight Special is really good too. Which is why it did so poorly at the box office. Is people don't want like really great science fiction stories that don't explain everything in 10 minutes, lots of flashes. It has sort of Sixth Sense vibe going on. So rent that.
Okay. Let's see. What else?
Sorry about that.
Did you? So I'm assuming everyone's seen the Magnificent Seven trailer.
No, I have not.
Wow. Yeah. Basically, the main thing for me is that it's Denzel's the lead, so it's at least going to be good in that respect. But
Who's doing that?
it's God, I can't pronounce.
Is it Fuqua again?
Fuqua? Yes, thank you. Yeah.
Because he's done the last couple of Denzel movies. He did The Equalizer, I think, didn't he?
Yes.
Yeah. And
That was
he did
Equalizer, and yeah.
And Training Day. Yeah.
He's
And
done the last couple of Denzel films.
Yeah.
yeah.
That will be good. That will be really good. Really good.
Yeah. Chris Pratt looks like he's having a blast in it, so that'll be good. I'm trying to think of what else.
I saw the trailer for the other movies he's in with the Jennifer Lawrence thing.
Jennifer Lawrence thing.
The Passenger? Is that what it's called?
Oh, Chris Pratt, yes.
Yeah.
Passengers, isn't it?
Yeah.
I have not seen that trailer. I know they were shooting that locally.
Yeah, he's actually shooting that at the same time he's doing Guardians here.
Well, I think I would assume since it's a science fiction thing, it's probably done shooting, so they can. Okay. But.
Yeah, but he was shooting that, and starting to shoot Guardians at the same time for a little while here.
No, that's fun. So let's see what else. Oh, let's see the new Independence Day sequel trailer.
I don't really care.
Which looks insane. I mean,
is it going to be Transformers, or is it going to be good?
No, but first of all, the scale. I like the scale where they say, "Oh, it's coming in, and landing, in the Mid-Atlantic." It's like, where in the Mid-Atlantic? The whole thing. It's like, oh shit, and blowing up entire cities using gravity weapons. I mean, as long as it somehow manages to keep some semblance of the Irwin Allen vibe of the original, I'm fine. Because Irwin Allen films were not high cinema. You're talking to a guy who loves Beyond the Poseidon Adventure. I mean, come on.
Yes.
So let's see. What else?
The Japanese Godzilla movie?
Yes, which apparently people are not very happy about the look. I was just a little startled that his tail was so long.
Yeah.
But I'm like, it's a Japanese Godzilla movie. It's going to be better than the...
They do get to be the authority on what he looks like.
He does kind of look like a lava creature.
He does.
JJ! So, yeah, I'm like, after the last Godzilla American disappointment...
But admittedly, you see, he spends more time. You see more of Godzilla in the trailer than you did in the actual film.
Absolutely, yeah. Bailey, who is our resident Godzillologist, was complaining about the arms, and I said, "Oh, the thing about those arms is you could see them to critique them." So, anyway, but yeah, so there's that trailer. What's new with you, JJ?
I am not working so much that I never get to do any podcasts. So
hey! Woo! So back.
But you are still working, though, right?
Oh yeah, no, I am still working. It's just that for the past 6 months, the place I work went from 3 warehouses to 1 warehouse. So it's been a lot of, and it was only two guys doing it. So.
Ouch.
So a lot of 6-day weeks, a lot of late hours, but now I'm on the other side.
Was that ouch toughly for 2 guys doing it? Is that what that was for?
No.
Oh. See, I was too busy thinking about getting bored and doing like forklift derbies and shit. That'll be in the new Top Gear. Let's see what else. Oh,
Well, they've got
Did we
enough.
talk Doctor Strange? Because I stepped away from it.
No.
no, but we can, because it looks good.
It
Oh,
does.
it looks
It
good.
looks appropriately weird.
Yes.
And Tilda Swinton's in it.
And Tilda Swinton punches him out of his own body.
I mean, there is the issue of Tilda Swinton playing a character
That was real, by the way.
by an Asian man, but
There is. That is the sore spot, and given what they did with Iron Fist, so.
But here's the okay. So the thing about Iron Fist and I'm a huge Iron Fist fan.
Yeah.
And I want to see, I've said before, if race matters to you in a comic book character, then you're kind of crazy anyway. They're drawn. It really doesn't matter what color they're drawn. But the other thing I point out is that imagine Stan Lee creating blank blankety blank blank from a couple of years ago. That's why it shouldn't matter. Go ahead. Right. But there's also, in the case of casting an Asian character or casting an Asian actor as Iron Fist, really the main reason you're doing it is because he's a kung fu guy, which just feels like
Perpetuating a stereotype.
Yeah, it's still not representation. It's tokenism, and I don't know that that's any better than what they did. Granted, the Tilda Swinton thing, that's a little weird, but it's also Tilda Swinton, so everybody kind of loves her.
And to be fair, I mean, if you compare Iron Fist, who is the not very well known, less known than Daredevil, I would argue, outside of comic circles, but I mean the Ancient One, only the comic people even know the character.
Yeah.
I did find it interesting that they chose to cast, and I cannot say his name. I'm so sorry. Baron Mordo.
Chiwetel Ejiofor.
Thank you. That guy. His name, I can't pronounce my own name, much less anyone else's, but his is to the point where my brain can't process it. And that's not a problem with his name, that's a problem with my brain. We're talking about a brain that learned to speak phonetically, and I still want to say photographer. So, fuck it.
When they said that when I found out that his nickname was Chewie, my Wookiee sense kicked in, and so I just it's not that hard from there.
There you go. Now, wasn't and JJ, since you obviously know more about Iron Fist than I do, is the thing that he becomes steeped in this stuff, much like Stephen Strange, or what is the official origin of Iron Fist as we know him?
It's basically Lost Horizons with Kung Fu.
Gotcha.
Would be the short answer.
Nice.
His family goes hiking in the Himalayas. They get lost. The mysterious city of I never have known how to pronounce it because fuck you sci-fi with putting apostrophes in the middle of words for no fucking reason. And so his father dies. He's raised by the monks that are mystical kung fu monks, and he becomes the best at kung fu until he wrestles the world serpent, and then gets the brand of the Iron Fist, which allows him to turn his chi into a thing unto iron.
There you go.
Okay.
And that was the official handbook of the Marvel Universe, as portrayed by JJ.
I actually talked about that a little bit at DragonCon last year about how I think that the best trick that Marvel is pulling with Netflix is Daredevil, very grounded and real. Jessica Jones, very grounded and real. They're now comparing the scripts for Luke Cage as being like a superhero version of The Wire, so very grounded. And then we're going to get to Iron Fist, which is a magical kung fu city.
But it's going to wind up being grounded and real.
I hope not.
I like the idea that it's grounded and real up until the point where it isn't.
And not only is it not, it's like they dialed it up to 11.
Yeah.
Well, you also need, especially if you're going to do some conflicting character in that verse, should be like all of the shows grounded and real, and then Iron Fist can be the fantastically over the top show.
Well, and I like the idea that you've got 3 quote-unquote grounded and real characters, meaning the other 3 leads, who in the Defenders are basically going to be complete fish out of water, It's like if they're going up against, as I believe they're setting up, some kind of, mystical, magical problem that the Defenders need to go up against, then, I would love to see the adjustment they all have to make.
You mean the weird Chinese cult from the first season of Daredevil?
Yes.
that sold heroin, so that's gonna be. They're still sort of putting real world drug issues into my Kung Fu City.
Well, they're basically just funding the magical city.
Yes.
Because you just need pixie dust in the magical city. You don't need heroin.
The magical city that's only supposed to appear to our realm every couple of years, so you have to get the heroin out in big chunks.
So wait, it's Brigadoon?
It's Lost Horizons. I said that already.
Oh, okay. So let's see. What else do we know? Now, John asked if I had seen Jungle. Did anyone see Jungle Book?
No.
I did. I thought it was fantastic.
Really?
Yep.
I want to. Kim and I want to go see Huntsman because we've heard it's horrible and we want to laugh at something.
No, the Jungle Book is actually the only thing, and my wife pointed this out too. The only thing that is weird, the whole entire movie from beginning to end is so well done and so immersive and so well acted and voice acted in the whole 9 yards. Up until Christopher Walken, who plays King Louis, they actually still kind of force the whole "I Want to Be Like You" song in there, which is all fine and good, other than Christopher Walken going "ooh ooh ooh, I want to be like you."
Wait, were the rest of the songs in there?
Bare Necessities, I know, kind of is.
Bare Necessities is, yes.
Okay.
And that was it, basically. Yeah, that was really those were the only 2 that were in there.
Yep. Try to name the other songs anyway.
The Elephant March.
Yeah, well, that's true.
And there's that creepy Ka song.
Oh yes, there is that.
Ka voiced by
Idris Elba, right?
Scarlett Johansson.
Scarlett
Idris
Johansson.
Elba with Shere Khan.
Shere Khan, and brilliantly played, by the way.
Nice.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, yeah, it has Idris Elba. Why have you not seen it yet, WEJ?
Been a little busy. I was going back to the hometown this weekend and met a gentleman the hard way when he thought he was coming up to a 4-way stop and he wasn't. So he stopped and then kept going, thinking I was going to stop. And let's just say I managed to miss most of him.
Mm.
Oh.
Yep. Fun. So.
I think that isn't really. Oh, you're being sarcastic. Never mind.
Yes. It's the Englishman in me coming out.
Yeah, we're as far as movies go, I think we're running out of our pre multiple viewings of Captain America time, basically.
Yeah, I am looking forward to that. I'm still afraid, but I'm looking forward to it.
Because I know I'm not just going to see Civil War just the once. I know I'm not.
I am prepared to love Civil War with a joy and abandon that I did not expect when I heard them announce it.
Although I will say I did see the new trailer they came out with or Spidey stops the Winter Soldier and comments on his arm.
Yeah.
That's just so geekly and cool. I love that.
Basically, the addition of Spider-Man into Civil War is what made me go, oh, that'll be fun, to holy shit, I can't fucking wait. And as soon as...
Well,
It had me at the eyes moving, JJ.
That's exactly it. I mean, as soon as I saw the eyes move, I'm like, shit, I'm in if I have to sell a kidney.
I don't care.
Currently tracking at 98% on Rotten Tomatoes, by the way.
Yeah, I don't care if they kill Rhodey. The Spidey stuff's gonna be fun.
There's only one guy that hates it, so, you know.
That one guy is Don Cheadle.
Well, to be fair, somebody needs to introduce Don. If that's the case, somebody needs to introduce Don Cheadle to the Marvel Comics, so he'll know that he'll be back.
Yeah.
I mean, everyone comes back.
Unless your contract runs out. Sorry, Terrence Howard.
Well,
Let's just say your character comes back. So what you're saying is Ed Norton was in essence the Grey Hulk?
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, jeez. We just watched, Aaron and I just watched the Ang Lee Hulk.
Awesome, isn't it?
For the last episode of The Driving of Doom. That movie's so much worse than I remembered.
Terrible.
It's not that bad.
It didn't age well.
It's fucking awful. There are 10 seconds worth watching in that movie, and coincidentally, or maybe not, that was the picture that you chose for at least the Facebook post, if not the post itself.
That actually, that him biting the top of the missile lock pissed me off beyond belief.
Really?
It destroys any and all believability in the cartoon Hulk.
Well, I looked at it this way. Basically, it's the most Hulkish thing he does in the entire film.
That sequence is great, though. The sequence when he's jumping around and stuff,
Yeah.
I'll agree with you there. But biting, it just, I don't know. I can twist my what's the word I'm looking for? Brain
Disbelief?
not working. Yeah, disbelief will stretch so far, but when you bite the tip off a missile and it doesn't blow out your mouth, you know, it just, he shouldn't have been able to bite it and spit it. It's just, that's not how
I
missiles
agree.
work.
But I think I was just so happy to see the Hulk act like the freaking Hulk.
Yeah.
Because like to me, when the Hulk lets loose, it's like in Avengers, and he was just flying from place to place, smashing anything he could get a hold of. I'm like, oh, there he is.
Yeah.
And the idea of, I'm going to catch this missile and fuck this nonsense, patooey. I was actually happy. But I agree with you. In retrospect, it is quite unbelievable, but so is the fact that film was made.
Oh,
Still better than Casablanca.
I will fight you, sir.
Oh. Yeah, exactly.
You can always watch Lemonade again.
Ugh.
I understand
Oh.
not necessarily liking a classic film. I do understand that there are classics out there that I don't care for, and I do think that Casablanca might even be possibly more loved than some other bogey films should be loved. But all bogey films deserve respect because all bogey films are better than most of the drivel that comes out.
Most.
I love me some bogey.
There's only two. I'm watching them all. I did a thing last year where I watched them in order, and there's only two I can't find.
Oh
which
wow!
is really sucky because they're not available. There's no prints. But yeah. Although In a Lonely Place is really great too. It's not as good as Casablanca, but it's pretty amazing.
And and I'll never turn down a viewing of Treasure of Sierra Madre.
Yes.
Or African Queen.
Well, one of my favorite cinematic experiences was seeing a double feature of Casablanca and Maltese Falcon on the big screen.
Oh, Maltese.
Yeah, but this, I can't remember what I've told where, but basically they did come out. This was when Warner was doing their 75th anniversary road tour, basically.
Yeah, that tour.
Yeah.
Which was great.
Was
But
this the thing they did at the Fox?
no. It was at
Yeah.
Phipps Plaza actually.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and basically they came out before the double feature started and said, just so everyone knows, the film will not take up the entire screen. That's the way films were back then. We did not have widescreen.
Exactly.
But they had to make that announcement because people were coming out and complaining, asking where is the rest of the film.
I know.
Oi!
It's okay, Widge. I've seen people complain about the first 10 minutes of Wizard of Oz.
Well, I can't watch anything in anything under than 1080p. I just can't.
Well, but see though, Toughly, aren't they releasing everything eventually in 4K? So it'll catch up to you.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, everything's going to be in 4K, even Adam Sandler films.
Stop that.
You know what will not be in 4K?
What's that?
The Star Wars prequels, because they were shot digitally in 1080p.
He'll remake them.
Wait a minute. Oh, wait, I can't care. Thank you, JJ.
I just wanted to point out that not everything will go to 4K. There are at least those
I'm sure they will come up with some way of doing it. It's Disney. Do not underestimate, my friend, the power of the Disney marketing machine.
Thank you, Spider-Man.
With great cash comes great merchandise.
So I'll throw something bonkers out there. So you think they really tossed in humans so that maybe Disney's throwing out a bone for Fantastic Four?
Wait, what?
See? Told you. No, they dumped Inhumans from the schedule.
Completely?
Yeah.
Currently, yeah.
Holy shit.
Inhumans.
I've heard a lot of that has to do with, and I can't remember all the names involved, but it was like Pearl something, the guy who was the head of Marvel.
Kurt Mueller.
Yeah, he has one of his name's too many syllables.
Yes.
But he championed Inhumans, and now that Feige's over him,
Yeah.
he kind of went, "Oh, you want this project? You want it? You want it? Boom, gone."
Well, they're also doing Inhumans on Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., so
Right.
Well,
it kind
here's the
of
thing.
takes the wind out of the sail.
Actually, and I think I may have said this when they announced the movie. I always thought Inhumans would be a better television series anyway. So.
I think Fantastic Four would be a better television series
Yeah.
than a movie.
Yeah.
Well, so the first thing I thought was, are they still trying to squeeze Fantastic Four in? Is that what they're trying to do? Have they opened up a spot where if Spider-Man does good, Disney can then turn to Fox and go, can we make a deal here? Because that kind of sounds suspiciously like that too.
Well, it looks like what I'm seeing is that after you bring in Spider-Man: Homecoming, and then you've also got the new Indiana Jones film
And the Star Wars everything.
Yeah, so now you just, number one, you don't really have a good place for it. Number two is that there is a lot of, and we were talking about this before, there's a lot of ground to cover between now and whenever the Inhumans movie happens, because, I mean, I don't think we've had any Inhumans at all in the films. We've just had basically mutates, right? Like Spider-Man would be, and Quicksilver and Scarlet Witch were considered that. They weren't Inhumans.
They were lab rats. They were lab rats.
There you go, lab rats. So I think I think it might make sense. I mean, somebody was talking about. Well, first of all, they were talking. Oh, well, they haven't introduced these characters. It's like, well, they hadn't introduced Guardians at all, and that did well.
Yeah.
So, compared to a talking tree and a a gun crazy raccoon, a teleporting giant dog is pretty much nothing.
Yeah.
So I think it'll work, but at least they're knowing that they can't just slam it out there. They've got a lot to do.
I still liked the idea of the rumors of Vin Diesel playing Black Bolt, and just picturing Vin Diesel in a Black Bolt costume just amuses the hell out of me.
Amuses as in not something you would care for, or?
Amuses me as just take my money already.
Okay, yeah. Simply because it could be his finest role.
Yeah. Although I like Vin Diesel.
No, I like Vin Diesel too. Believe me. No one was sadder than I was that Riddick was shit.
And it's going to be it's going to be very hard for him to have a role that tops Iron Giant, but
yeah, but he's back doing another XXX movie, so I'm happy with that. At least it's in development. Because that never should have ended. Even though there's Fast and the Furious 13 is I think already on the schedule, so.
well, as long as there's CGI, we'll never lose Paul Walker.
Wow.
Too soon.
That's wrong, but I like it. Oh yeah, the Jason Bourne trailer finally came out. Any reaction to that? I know Kim doesn't give a shit, Tuffley, because there's no Jeremy Renner.
She actually still wants to see those, so I don't know.
Who's yelling?
Oh,
I don't know.
That's just some idiot outside my window.
Oh, okay.
It's Portland. It's Portland yelling.
Okay.
Yeah, I was about to say, are you in Mecca or something? Because that's what it sounded like.
No,
I was like, is Scott trying to get back on the podcast from behind a wall?
Scott is trying to get back on the podcast. He's gone to Portland.
No, he's not. No, he's not.
Who gave Scott a boom tube?
I live in a neighborhood that sometimes we get colorful people that stand on the street and yell.
Yes, you do.
Well, he's a fine addition to the podcast.
Hope you survive the experience.
Yes, exactly.
Or don't. I don't really care.
Well, if you want to check real quick, do you want to ask him what he thought of Batman versus Superman? Because that would be.
That's actually what he's railing against out there.
What shit?
I want my money back.
I assume he was like me and just went, yeah, I'll wait till it comes to the cheap theater.
But he yelled it.
Yeah.
I'll wait till it comes to the cheap theater.
I hated Sucker Punch too.
I used to defend Zack Snyder. I defended him for quite some time. But I'm after just hearing one rumor from a friend. Well, it's not a rumor because they saw Batman. But after hearing one fact about Batman and Superman after it came out, I was like, no, he's gone. And it was something that Zack Snyder apparently insisted on, and that's the
directing.
Fact that, well, the fact that we already had Superman kill for no fucking reason. Apparently now Batman kills too.
Yeah.
Yeah, we were talking about that.
Yeah.
I didn't care so much because the fight sequences were pretty awesome, and in that film I would take anything.
Yeah, I mean, I will see the film because I can't help but eventually we'll probably have to do a drive-in of doom on it, but I feel that compulsion, that abused sibling or that abused wife syndrome of maybe it'll be okay this time.
Don't you want that to be the first time that you're actually seeing it when you actually have to say something about it on the internet?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I actually think that would be great.
Just go in blind and naked.
Yes. I would love to hear your live reaction, JJ. Aaron's trying to actually analyze stuff while you sound like the guy outside. What the fuck? Oh, to the front. That's absolutely right, JJ.
So that would be the commentary we did on Tank Girl a long time ago. I will never forgive him for that.
Yeah.
Kangaroo sucks. There's nothing wrong with that. Nothing.
I also know that I need to see. I
Scott's
need to
not even
see.
on the podcast anymore.
I need to see He Never Died because Henry Rollins is now in another film.
Yes.
Which also looks batshit crazy. He's basically, there's a heist taking place, and he plays a serial killer that happens to be in the bank at the same time and starts wiping out the criminals. So, batshit crazy Rollins, yes please, I'll have some.
Yeah, and he Never Died looks amazing. I just haven't watched it yet.
It's on
Yeah.
Netflix. I gotta watch it.
Yeah.
I've got to watch it.
Yeah, just let me know when you see it. It's pretty great.
Okay. Let's see. Here's an interesting thing. Did anyone try season 2 of Fear the Walking Dead?
Yeah.
No.
Mm.
Okay, Rob, what did you think?
I didn't love the first season, so I'm like,
I only made it through one
got
episode
time
of the
to-
first season.
I'm like, I got time to go. I'll see what happens. I'm in bed sick. I'll watch it, and I went back to sleep. What I wonder is how would it be if we never saw the other Walking Dead show? Would that change our opinion of it? But looking at it through the lens of having the other Walking Dead show, it's really, really bad. And I've decided that a lot of it is just the casting. It's just, I don't like any of these people. And when they die, I'm not going to feel, anything. And it's just, the idea of doing it in LA is kind of cool. They had a lot of things they really could have pulled off, and I can't put my finger on why it seems flat, but it just seems miscast and flat, and I can't put my finger on why.
I know one of the things that ticked me off. I made it 2 episodes in the first season and couldn't make it any further, and I was so annoyed at the world's cuddliest junkie.
Yeah.
The junkie that everybody still loved and supported. I couldn't buy into it at all.
Yeah.
Well, the one thing I'll say about that character was I did like the idea that, because I made it 1 episode and I was just like, fuck this nonsense. I liked the idea that a zombie apocalypse happens at the same time that you're high as fuck and you're trying to come off of it, and so you don't know if you're just crazy or this stuff is actually happening. And so I liked that uncertainty, and I also liked the fact that once he realized that no, it was happening, he is the one who took action by running over his former friend twice. So he was like, that guy and the kid at the school who came in with a knife, I wanted everyone else to die and for those two to have the show. Now, I think I agree with you, Rob, that it's just part of it is that if we know where all this is going, then you've got to really bring something interesting to the table. Otherwise, we're just bored. And you've got really terrible characters. The mom character, I just wanted her to, if she had been eaten in the last 5 minutes of the first episode, I might have watched the entire first season. So, but what I will say is this: I was intrigued when I saw the trailer for season 2, and I watched the first episode, because if they stay in this direction of doing something different, then I'm cool with it. I like the notion of how do you deal with a zombie apocalypse, and I think I was saying on the podcast, you can't go east necessarily because you've got deserts and mountains. If you go south or north in Los Angeles, there's just more city, so you've got to go west into the ocean. So I don't think we've seen, certainly not on television, and very rarely in a film, what happens if you take to the ocean in a zombie apocalypse. I mean, one of the things, and this is not a spoiler because it's obvious this is going to happen, they pass by like a raft crammed with people yelling at them for help. and they have to make the decision of, well, what are we going to do? And it's like, and Strand, who is the guy who owns the yacht, who is the best character on the show, is like, basically, fuck no, we're not picking them up. I own this yacht. If anyone else has a problem, I'll drop you off with them. So that aspect of it, I kind of dig, because and you have, you know, when you have floating zombies, you have the other problem of, if you're in the water, you know, it's a fully dimensional space. You got 3 dimensions that they can come at you from, and fall on top of you. So it has the potential to be fucked up. So the first episode was better. And the other thing too is, when it comes to the characters, and this is what it's hard. People had this problem with Walking Dead, and I don't think the word got out very much, that Kirkman's take on it was, this was a world that did not have the zombie genre. So, you know, that's why nobody knew to shoot them in the head, because they'd never seen this before, not even in fiction. So we're going back in Fear the Walking Dead to where people have no clue how to conduct themselves because they haven't been culled yet.
They haven't figured out what the rules are.
Yeah, the stupid people aren't dead yet. So, you know, when some of them do stupid things, you kind of have to cut them some slack, except for the mom, who still needs to be eaten.
So basically what you're saying is the show will get more interesting as the cast gets reduced.
Quite possibly, yes.
How many weeks until Preacher?
Too many. Oh, wait, let me see. Isn't it another...
It's in May.
Yeah, it's May 22nd that Preacher... That's less than a month.
Okay, so somebody wake me up till when we get to Preacher.
Yeah.
When I first heard that they were doing the zombie the show in LA, my first thought was how hilarious you could get with some special effects with how many plastic parts are out there. So if you had zombies with like perfect cheekbones and like dead rotting flesh, there's some possibilities there for some cutting commentary. But yeah, the show just didn't grab me at all. Of course, I'm half a season behind in Walking Dead as well. But
well, here's what I would say, is that if you're trying to avoid spoilers, catch up now, because what they did in the finale is going to be spoiled pretty damn quick.
Right.
And I'm not saying that because like I know anything. I'm just saying that based on how big a deal it was and how hard, based on what they did, it's going to be to keep it a secret. It's going to break. It's going to break. And my guess is within 2 weeks of when they start shooting the first episode.
Right. Yeah, I'm only half a season behind. I don't see me not catching up soon. I just haven't really taken the time to really.
No, I know. I'm telling folks that because, you know, if you're trying to stay spoiler free, be aware.
Right, but I also know that with the character they introduced, I know kind of what's coming down the pike through the comics. So.
Yeah.
Although there's one particular thing that, you know, one particular death that if they decided to change, I'd be fine with that.
Yeah.
Princes?
Yes.
Yeah, I would totally be fine with that.
Prince and Lemmy both, but...
Yeah, yeah. Now since we have the Miles Davis Prince collaboration that has come to light, I think the Prince Lemmy collaboration would be great now, please.
Yes.
Or the Daft Punk one.
Yeah. I'd be fine with any of that.
Now I'm sad because I've never heard Lemmy sing Around the World.
It would be awesome.
Hear it.
That would have been amazing. Yeah, why didn't that happen? There's another universe somewhere where that happened.
Yeah.
We must find it and conquer it.
It's on a Girl Talk record somewhere.
Oh.
Wow.
So it's not any good. Damn, I was hoping it would be good.
Okay.
Oh, it's sad. It's sad. But
I am
yeah,
very happy. Very happy.
Oh, go ahead, JJ.
I was just gonna say I'm very happy I got to see Prince live. of the horrible things that have happened lately. You know, I at least know that I got to see Motorhead live a couple of years ago, and I got to see Prince live
Yeah.
like in the late '80s or late '90s, excuse me.
Nice.
So that's nice.
Yeah, I was trying to get tickets to this last run he was doing at the Fox.
Yeah, he had 2 surprise pop-up shows here that they canceled. They didn't
Yeah.
even. Yeah.
Because they had originally canceled the Atlanta dates too, and he made them up.
I saw Pantera at the Fox.
Everybody has a Fox.
No, I saw it in Atlanta.
Oh, in the Atlanta Fox. Okay.
I had roommates who had parents who lived in Stone Mountain.
The acoustics are really good, and
Yeah.
it's really large.
And I was the only person, I think, in that entire place that knew who Pantera was, so it was kind of fun. Because they were opening for Skid Row.
No.
Really?
Wow.
Yeah.
But I bet they got paid.
I don't. It just was it was hilarious for me to just be in the back because I got the tickets free and seeing all the teenage girls just terrified up front.
Nice.
That with PJ Harvey. She
Pantera
opened
opened for PJ Harvey?
No, there was something here where this band Veruca Salt and PJ Harvey opened for live. So
Wow.
it was at the same amphitheater as the Guns N' Roses thing happened. So a friend of mine went. We saw Veruca Salt, and then we saw PJ Harvey, and it was like, "You're leaving?" We're like, "Yeah, aren't you?" You know. But yeah, that was really great. So there's something fun about being able to just sort of get the hell out of there before everybody else.
Which version of live was this?
This
it
was
first
after.
album?
This is first album.
Well, they weren't that bad then.
No, not then.
They were young and didn't know any better. They got pretentious on the second album.
Yeah, what was it?
They got pretentious on purpose on the second album, Wedge.
I'm not debating that at all. What
the
was
one
it?
Jerry Harrison didn't produce.
Yeah, when I saw it was when I went to Lollapalooza, I think the last time Metallica was headlining, so I left before they started. I went basically because it was Rage Against the Machine, and it was.
Yeah, I think I left after that. Yeah.
So, let's see. What else?
Did anyone watch any of Coachella at all?
No.
That's a thing?
Yeah, that's a thing.
Yes.
That's a thing that happened.
I thought that was just like a hologram symposium or something like that.
It's all a hologram.
Yeah, it's where we will now get to go see Prince and Lemmy and Bowie,
Merle Haggard.
Pantera.
Oy. So, yeah, and what was it? My brother was going to the New Orleans Jazz Fest, and I was commenting to Tuffley and Rob about Pearl Jam being one of the headliners at the Jazz Fest.
Pearl Jam and Janelle Monáe.
No, okay, Janelle Monáe.
Makes sense.
That works for me.
Yeah.
And in New Orleans, it totally makes sense.
Because she did her Prince set there, didn't she?
Yep.
I was hearing about, yeah.
So, yeah. And again, Paul Simon was on that bill, but I'd take Paul Simon as more jazzy than Pearl Jam.
Well, Jazz Fest they call it Jazz Fest, but it's not really jazz anymore because the people that make jazz now are basically terrible. Because otherwise you're stuck with Dave Koz, whatever.
So have you heard?
Well, Preservation Jazz isn't that bad.
And Kamasi Washington's fantastic.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, the thing is like on a massive scale. It's in the middle of a racetrack still, I think, and as big as it is, the amount of there's only like a handful of jazz musicians that could get that would sell a shit ton of it. So they sort of kind of do jazz now, I guess. I don't know.
It's kind of the same thing as Austin City Limits, where at one point it was, At one point, it was bluegrass, and then it booked a couple of rock bands, and now it's basically indie rock.
Yeah.
And maybe 2 bluegrass bands.
Yeah, that's true. You'd have to get really creative to pull in a huge arena level crowd for most
The Yellow
jazz.
Jackets.
And Dave Matthews Band is taking the year off.
Wow.
Thank God. This year? This year?
When did they start? But it's well, the other thing is, and the thing I noted about even Coachella is that a lot of the festivals now, because usually the festivals used to have kind of a brand or a particular type of act would play there, and now everybody is doing this whole, doing the thing where everything's like Glastonbury. It's all different genres all the time, and I kind of I kind of miss all of the festivals having their different flavors. I kind of miss being able to avoid Bonnaroo. I really did, because that's where all the jam bands were, and I knew that's the one I wasn't going to.
Nothing wrong with some jam.
Well, it's kind of like the Wizard World of concerts now, because they have the same maybe 20 or 30 bands that play every festival, and then they just rotate out the headlines. And that's kind of just, Which, and people like that. If they want to do that, that's great. But,
Fish needs to eat too.
Well, festivals have kind of become the sort of A level ball or triple A level ball, where it's like you're big enough to tour, but you're not really big enough to tour by yourself. So let's tour with these bands and these bands and these bands and go from festival to festival. So.
Or you've got a record coming out and the label wants to, instead of putting a shit ton of money in promotion, just have you play festivals, and then you reach a maximum amount of people without having to spend as much money. You can do a shorter tour. I'll say this, though, about Lollapalooza, though. If you go to Chicago for Lollapalooza, you could go the week of, not actually go to Lollapalooza, but just wait for the bands you want to see to do all the pop-up shows around the city and go to those and have a much better time.
Well, that's what people were talking about Coachella, where a lot of the bands were doing smaller shows.
Yeah.
Like in and around, since Coachella is now 2 weeks, that a lot of the bands were doing smaller shows.
Yeah.
Which would be fun, because that's part of my problem with live shows these days, is that number one, I'm old and lazy. Number two, that normally you're seated somewhere where you can't see the band. It's like, okay, like if I'm watching Pink Floyd, that makes sense. But beyond that, it's like the fact that if I were to go to a Muse concert, I would be in a different zip code. That doesn't make a lot of sense. I will watch the Blu-ray when it comes out.
And it's a lot. And this thing with phones and stuff is really irritating.
Yeah. But then you go and see Fishbone, like upstairs at Smith's Old Bar here. That's a really small venue, and that was great. So that kind of thing I'm cool with. But much bigger than that, and I'm like, so I have to be around people? Oh, fuck.
But you don't want to be at the Savages show where they stop playing because people put phones up. People bring out the phones. You don't want to be at that show. Because they've done that. They've actually just stopped playing and walked off stage.
I don't blame them. It's kind of ridiculous.
But if you didn't have the phone and you're just there to watch the gig, that's kind of annoying.
Oh, that is annoying. But I'm like, at least come back out after the phones are gone.
I don't know. I saw. So I just about 2 weeks ago saw Colton and Paul and Storm, and Paul and Storm debuted a new song. And speaking of the phones and stuff, I just thought it was kind of cute, because they were like, the song's in workshop state. How about we don't film this one? Thanks.
Nice. How well did that work?
Well, with the exception of one guy who was determined to film the whole concert, every phone that I saw went away. But I was kind of close to the front, so.
That's what's great about the band Savages too. Is like they will stop playing and tell people to put away their cell phones, which is pretty great. Because they caused the thing in England because they put signs up saying no phones, photographic device. They listed all these things are allowed, and they'll just stop playing.
Oh, they did that on their U.S. tour too.
Yeah.
They did that when they toured. The last time they came through and played smaller venues, they did that too.
The other guy who's fun about that is Robin Hitchcock. He'll like just go over to the stage and stare at people while they,
Yeah, I like that. It's just stop and go until it becomes clear and very uncomfortable. See, that's the fun thing about not stopping and walking off. Just stopping and pointing at the culprit. And eventually, if that's all you're doing and you're not playing, the audience will turn on them and eat them, which is what really needs to happen.
Sounds like a Trump rally.
Yes. This is all part of a larger issue, though, that one, kids today don't have good taste in music. Two, they don't know how to listen to music or go to shows. They just don't know. And it's just infuriating.
Well, there's been problems, too, with live shows. Like, one time I was at Music Midtown watching Cake and almost got smacked in the head by someone crowd surfing to Cake. They're Cake!
Yes.
So my thought is we should get a like 5 foot by 5 foot concrete pad. And then when you get someone crowd surfing, you pass them to the pad and dump their ass on it. And eventually people will stop.
Yeah. Well, it wasn't as bad as people crowd surfing at Beach House.
But at least the name sounds like it would invoke surfing.
Was it the slowest number, or how did that work?
It didn't. It's just people being stupid.
They're not a really up band.
As far as like people going to see live music, though, I think part of it comes down to what we were just talking about, the fact that there's this split. I mean, of being able to go to a club and see a band, but then once a band is quote unquote too big to go to clubs, then the next step is so fucking expensive. So I think people are kind of getting out of the habit of going to see shows, and the younger generation, will never. They don't get the joy of growing up in Jackson, Mississippi, where everything's general admission, and so tickets were cheap. And so when I was, growing up in Jackson, I got to see everybody because tickets were, I remember having tickets to I think it was a Metallica show that I accidentally washed. They were in my wallet, and I washed my wallet, and I just went out and bought another ticket because I could afford it.
God, we sound like such old men. Get off of our lawns.
But that's the thing. It's not even that long ago. It's not
even that good of a lawn.
But it's not. It has nothing to do with that. But that's what I was saying is I don't think it's even the kids today or anything like that. Because I just think it's that
kids these days.
Yeah, I don't think that's it. I think it's that venues have just gotten have gotten scarcer.
That's part of it too. That is part of it, but part of it too is that when more people, when Justin Bieber sells out on sale date the same day as Paul McCartney, faster than Paul McCartney, the world has an issue.
Well, honestly, in those cases, usually what it is, if everybody's
I know.
got an issue, then it's probably your issue.
I know. Yeah, I know. But yeah, I know. I'm being the crazy old man. But yeah, I think the thing is the small venues are going away, and so you have sort of like really, 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 really small venues that are hanging on by doing booking of like bands that are up and coming, or the shows are cheap, and then you have the huge venues, and then the mid-level clubs are the ones that are kind of like going by the wayside first, and it's sort of leading to the smaller clubs sort of getting a backlash on it because now the 600 to 800 show thing. Nobody wants to do that anymore. They want to do either big or they want to do really small and intimate. So, but we used to have a really great, 600 to 800 seat theater here that everybody came through, and then now nobody comes through. So it's kind of sad. So, and I think bands are touring shorter too. I don't think the tours are as long, and they're not hitting the cities like they used to.
Well, I think it's what we were kind of talking about before with, everybody trying to play all the same festivals. Yeah. I mean, that sort of changes the economics of a tour where you don't have to go to the smaller places.
Yeah.
So
it's just the changing face and the changing economy of music. It might not be what I want, but it's what's happening.
Those damn kids!
We would have gotten away with it too if it hadn't been for those meddling kids and their phones.
And quite frankly, I don't think it's the kids; it's the assholes who run the venues. It's the damned adults.
Or it's the booking. Yeah. Some of it's the booking. Some of it too is that like a booking manager will look at, okay, if they play this show, how much more money they're going to get if they play this show. Whereas before, playing every show mattered. It's like every bit of money they could make touring mattered. So the more cities they played, the more shows they played, the more buzz they got, and the more money they made. Now they can play fewer shows and make just as much, if not more money.
Yeah.
So I think that is an interesting point.
It's the fucking grown-ups. They ruin everything.
Yeah, those fucking grown-ups. Get off of our yard!
Forget about me! Oh, sorry.
What?
I'm sorry. John Hughes came to mind, that's all.
Well, it's also the ticketing, too. The ticketing is just insane.
Well, yeah, with all Ticket Bastard and all of that stuff that the 5 or 6 different fees that they put on top of it.
So I just bought a ticket next month to go see a wrestling show, and and so it's like, okay, the ticket's X amount. So I go to the website to Ticketmaster and I see all the different various fees and stuff, and I'm like, okay, what the hell? I'll pull the trigger, even though the ticket goes up 25%. And then from the time of when I hit pay until when I got the receipt, it jumped up another $10 because there was a processing fee that they don't tell you about. But the processing fee apparently is the cost of just the transaction that I did myself.
I know.
Yeah, that's why on some occasions I will actually go to the fake CDC here and buy tickets straight from the box office.
If they allow you to do that, because a lot of venue, like here, the Moda Center, if you try to go buy tickets at the Moda Center directly, it's just an asshole on a Ticketmaster computer, and they have the same access that you do, and they charge you the same service fees.
Well,
Yeah, go ahead.
The weird thing is now here, I know, what is it, Infinite Energy, or the old Gwinnett Arena, basically. And I think Gwinnett Arena and the Fox have their own ticketing systems now. They're not even you can't most of their events you can't even get on Ticketmaster now because they've gone off the system.
Good.
So I'm noticing that, and some of the venues here are actually owned by Live Nation. So.
And that is kind of the benefit. I know Atlanta's not a small place, but one of the nice things about growing up someplace smaller and forgotten like Jackson is it did take them a long time before they got to Ticketmaster. They just didn't bother with Mississippi because we didn't get anything exciting.
Yeah.
Well, I remember Huntsville was a long time too.
Yeah, because you basically had to sign up for the Ticket Bastard newsletter to. Which used to come in the mail, kids ask your parents, to see what was happening in Atlanta, and then hope you could get tickets in time by calling on the phone.
Again, this sounds like I'm pulling way back, but this was just just a couple of years ago, really. But in Mississippi, we used to go to the record store and buy your tickets, and there was a 50-cent service charge.
Well. 50 cents I'm cool with. $10 though. I mean, like, for example, I will certainly be glad to pay a slight fee because I understand that there's like credit card processing fees, and you're keeping me from having to drive down to the theater to get the tickets myself. I'm fine with a small fee.
Mm-hmm.
However, when you start lumping it, like you said, a $10 processing fee, I'm like, I've worked with enough stuff to know what it costs to I mean, I process credit cards, so I know what it costs. It ain't $10 fucking.
No. And like everything else in the world, when you buy it with a credit card, it comes out of the seller's end.
Right. And, and by the way, the ones that charge you some kind of fee to print the tickets out yourself, fuck those people.
Yes.
I mean, to me, that's even, Jay, that's even worse than you talk about the transaction fee. Because I'm like, okay, at least there is a cost of the transaction happening, whether I do it or you do it, fine. However, I own this fucking printer! I've already paid for the ink!
Ticketmaster now is trying to get you to just show your phone.
Yeah. That's really taken off here.
Oh, what's hilarious
the
is that
passbook thing? Yeah, I've seen that.
at Regal Cinemas you can do that, but what was it, Regal or AMC? No, I'm sorry, it was AMC, where basically you have to show your phone, they pull out a paper ticket, then like scan the ticket, toss it into whatever their counter is where they keep track of this shit, and then you can go in. It's like, really? What was that about?
So how did you like how quickly AMC decided not to allow texting in their phones, in their theaters?
I wonder if that wasn't a stunt.
Yeah.
I didn't even hear about this.
It was only about a week. They announced that they were going to have selected showings in selected theaters where they were going to allow texting because they felt that millennials were so attached to their phones that they couldn't have a theatrical experience, basically.
Okay, well, that blows my mind. I'm like, here's a great idea. Why don't you have like shows for families with kids so they can come and ruin each other's time, and I can watch it without having to listen to your kid complain that you brought him to an R-rated movie at 11 o'clock at night. And the kid's like 6.
There are second-run theaters here that have what they refer to as mommy matinees, where kids get in free, so the parents can see a film, and so the kids can like run around like crazy.
Yeah, that's perfect. That is perfect. Oy. So, yeah, let's do that before we do fucking texting.
And actually, if you're looking at it from a standby of financial sense, what you're saying makes a lot of sense. Just because if you let the kids get in at a reduced rate or free, so the first 2 weeks that any movie comes out, the studio gets like 99% of the box office, and that's why popcorn costs $87.
Yep.
So if the theaters are looking to get people in a way that's profitable to them, you get in little kids that get in, they smell popcorn and they're going to want like snacks and things, and let them in cheap. So the theater makes their money on refreshments, and then they still sell tickets to the parents who get to see films, and we don't have to deal with little shitheads running up and down the theaters.
What kills me though is that if, as you established, their money-making scheme is the concessions, why is the concession stand the slowest fucking thing in the world? Why? Why are there always like 2 people manning it? Why?
Because it's not that profitable.
Well, then you get stuff like, and I know we've talked about this before. I know Movie Tavern's done it, and Studio Movie Girl's done it. The change where they've just said, okay, if you're seeing a certain rating film after a certain point in time, children are not allowed. Period.
I like that. Where's the soundboard when I need him? Fuck the kids.
But no, they've started to do this thing where they've posted, okay, if your child is under this age, or for movies that are rated PG, rated whatever, and a certain level, they'll say no children are allowed after 6 p.m.
And if you bring them, you are offering them up to be devoured. Sacrifice the child.
Or you just do like some of the theaters here do that I love, that they just serve beer so the kids can't come in after a certain time anyway.
Well, that's part of the reason that the two chains can't. That's part of it. The other part was a lot of people complained about the kids being in the theaters, but yeah, alcohol sales had something to do with that too.
Well, see, then everyone
Remember,
wins.
the kids are all wrong.
Yes.
I believe that children are our future, as long as they're locked in a trunk until we get to the future.
And also, Frozen's a lot better being able to drink. I thought Frozen was a much better film after, a few drinks.
I even enjoyed it sober.
Frozen would have been better if Lemmy was in it.
Oh, obviously. Many things would be.
Did you say Lenny or Lemmy?
Lemmy.
Oh, okay.
And Michael McKean.
Yeah.
What was the film Lemmy was actually in?
Hardware.
Yeah.
Love that movie. Criminally underviewed. And recommended. So check it out.
I don't know it.
Basically, Dylan McDermott and Nancy Travis. It takes place in a kind of dystopian future where the environment's completely fucked, that sort of thing. This guy is a scavenger, and he finds part of this killer droid in the wastelands, brings it back to his girlfriend, who's like a weird conceptual sculpture artist type person, and the droid bit wakes up and starts to rebuild itself in her apartment.
So basically, most of the plot of Fallout 4.
I don't know Fallout 4. I will say it is the only soundtrack that can boast on the cover featuring the music of Public Image Limited, Ministry, and Placido Domingo.
And the Jesus Can, I think, on that too, right?
What's that?
No. Never mind. I was thinking of Free Jack. Forget it.
Oh wow, Free Jack.
Because I think Ministry is on that. Yeah.
Yeah, and they have Lemmy's bit on the soundtrack as well, sampled.
Now, if I recall, Free Jack was what, Ministry and the Scorpions?
Yeah.
See,
if I remember that correctly.
Now it's just starting to sound like the soundtrack to Judgment Night. We'll just put two bands together.
Hey, which had some good tracks on it.
The Teenage Fan Club De La Soul thing was actually pretty good, I thought.
I enjoyed the Faith No More Booyah Tribe track simply because you had Faith No More playing in the background and then Mike Patton basically serving as another instrument. It's just like, oh, that's great. So yeah, that.
I haven't thought of the Booyah. Wow, the Booyah track.
Yeah, they were name checked by Greg Davies on the Graham Norton show. I rewatched the episode with Will.i.am and Miriam Margolyes every so often when I need to feel better about the world. Because there really should be any show at all with the two of them on it. Just like there should be I would watch the hell out of Martha Stewart, Snoop Dogg, cooking show.
Although I saw the recent Snoop Dogg guest episode of the Mike Tyson Mysteries.
Oh God.
Wow.
How is that?
Well,
Weird.
first of all, the Mike Tyson show is a bit weird anyway. It's kind of surreal, but it's Adult Swim, so you expect that.
Right.
But the Snoop Dogg thing is kind of fun though.
See, I think they should do with that what I wish they would have done with like a new run of the Scooby-Doo movies.
Yeah.
Where I talked about this, where Jerry Reed was a guest star, Batman and Robin, the Addams Family. So you could do stuff like, Snoop Dogg,
Well, that's kind of what they did in the first season of that show.
Marilyn Manson.
Or they had like these really bizarre cameos.
But again, it's an Adult Swim show, so you kind of
Yeah.
expect that.
Also, it has now the rarity of being a cartoon on Adult Swim, which they've kind of gotten away from. So, I think it's really Mike Tyson Mysteries and Venture Brothers now, and everything else is live action.
Because live action is cheaper.
Yeah.
It's cheaper and faster.
Well, yes, but it can't all be Family Guy reruns.
Sheesh.
Are they at least good Family Guy reruns?
I don't know.
Or is it like Family Guy after it was buried in the pet cemetery and came back?
I don't know.
I never cared for it to begin with, so
Oh, really? I quite enjoyed it on its first iteration.
it is a joke delivery service that the style just it annoys me. It's animated vaudeville, and if you're into that, that's great, but it didn't really work for me.
No, I got that. I mean, and that makes sense. Just like, usually, what is it? Basically, a fucked up family sitcom just does not work for me.
Right.
Partly because my family's so strange. Partly because normally I just don't find them funny. Like what was the name of that thing? Saving Hope or Raising Hope, whatever that was. That was not very funny. I don't find Modern Family very funny. Any of those family sitcom things. I mean, like, if you're going to go... I remember Married with Children I thought was funny because it was so out there at the time that it was just beyond the pale. But if you have, a show that's quirky like... what was it called?
Arrested Development.
No, the other one. The other one quirky sitcom. About the guy who could kill people and raise them back from the dead.
Oh, Pushing Daisies.
Thank you. And made pies. Yes. That was great, simply because, again, it was just so bizarre.
It's starring Ronan the Accuser.
Exactly. I still think that's weird. Although, it was easier to take because I had seen him in Tarsam's The Fall, which if you have not seen, I recommend it. It's the last of the good Tarsam films. Before he went apeshit and broke my heart. Because I really needed him to do the Constantine movie. Or Sandman. That would have been great, too. If the original Tarsam had done Sandman, I would have been fine with that.
But Sandman just keeps getting stalled.
Which, I'm kind of fine with because
Yes.
I read having heard about all of the really terrible drafts of the script, I read a decent draft of the script, but it still wasn't. It was still missing something, I would almost want to see that either like full bore animated, or again, I don't know. You could do it as a radio drama, save you a fortune in budget. If the same people who did Good Omens and Neverwhere did it, It would be good.
Well, apparently there's going to be a Good Omens a miniseries.
Yes. Yes, at last. And that one you could do. That one you could easily do. Hell, you could cut half the jokes from that book, and it would still be, funnier than most things on television.
Now, I don't know where he's doing it, but I know he's going to do it.
Yeah, I know that's happening. But
I want to say BBC's doing it, but I don't know.
Yeah, I would like to see. I would be interested to see who they cast. I like who they cast in the radio version with Peter Serafinowicz and from Spaced. I'm blanking on his name. The crazy guy from Spaced. Well, not him. The other crazy guy. No, not him either. The other crazy guy.
Brian?
Yes, that crazy guy.
I don't know the actor's name, but I know.
Yeah, I should. I've lost all of my.
Brain.
Yes, that too.
What do you think about Peter Serafinowicz playing a quote-unquote dark and gritty The Tick?
Mark Heap. That's him.
Yeah.
Wait, what is this with a tick?
So Serafinowicz has been cast as the Tick for Amazon.
Yeah.
Which I kind of love, but they've also
live action or
live action. But they've also said that they want to do a sort of grittier street level The Tick, which I figure has to be bullshit.
Unless they're doing it as a piss take on Daredevil.
Yeah, if they did it that way, that would be great. Actually, if it was just that, if it was we're gonna get street level. How do you have street level The Tick?
Like a one-shot joke?
Yeah.
That's like. That's like. Oh well, we want to have a street level axe cop. I mean, how does that even work?
And you don't cast someone with the comedic chops of Peter Serafinowicz and then don't let him run crazy.
It sounds like they're going to do a piss take on Daredevil, is what it sounds like.
Which I would be fine with. In fact, I would be fine with. You know what I would be happy with is if it was essentially, if it had the same feel as the Ambush Bug comics, in which everything was on the table and they could make fun of fucking anything they wanted to. What?
Booster Gold for Legends. Bring it.
Hey, that's right.
Booster Gold for Legends, buddy. Bring it.
We're coming up on the final
end
episode.
Yes, and hopefully the end of Vandal fucking Savage, because that is a plot line that needs to end, because I think it'll free the show.
Well, I will say that first of all, Jonah Hex was great.
I liked him. I didn't like the episode he was in.
No, I understand, but I liked him.
Yes, I hope they bring him back because he deserves an episode that's actually about him.
Yes, certainly much better than the crap movie.
Yes.
I liked I like having Celia Imrie running a time orphanage. That's amazing.
That was great.
Yeah. So I like and the fact that they're stealing themselves from the time stream. That was pretty cool. So I think they're just like you said, Tuffley. I think they're slightly turning up the crazy, but I think they're doing it in a way so that they don't freak anybody out. I think it's more like, at least this is what I'm hoping, that they're saying not too much all at once. It's like boiling a frog. We got to make sure that they don't know what's happening, and then holy shit, suddenly it's weird.
Yeah, there's just things where I've seen flashes of them going like almost completely balls crazy, but they haven't done it yet, and I'm kind of waiting for that. Because the premise wants you to do that. So yes. I think that's why I kind of feel almost disappointed almost in the first season, although we're not at the end of it yet. But I kind of expected it to be more crazy than it actually is.
Well, I think I would be disappointed had I not enjoyed the performances so much.
Yeah.
Because I think the majority of that cast is a hell of a lot of fun to watch.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes you just have to have a couple of street level series before you get to the magical kung fu city.
Exactly.
Absolutely. You know what would be great is if you had the Tick and like 3 other completely unrelated heroes, and then they made a piss take on the Defenders as well. That would be great.
I mean, you've kind of got the if they just go with the built-in from the old series, you still have a Batman and a Wonder Woman character. I would love it if they brought in some of the cartoon characters, but Fox Animated owns them, so there's that weird. So you couldn't necessarily get Sewer Urchin and stuff because Fox Kids owns them. Although I would love to see a Sewer Urchin in a television series because he's fun.
Yes, absolutely. Well, we should probably mosey towards recommendations. I think it's about that time. So, who wants to go first?
I'll go.
Okay, go, Tuffley.
There was a new album since we just did the Shakespeare thing over the last weekend. Rufus Wainwright had an album called "Take All My Loves," which was a record that came out. Florence Welch has a track on there that's really nice, and a couple of good things happening on that. I will recommend, a Prince record. Buy all of them. No. My favorite Prince record, I will say, is "Sign of the Times." Although the First Time record Although the First Time record is a close second because I just like to mention that, and then people go, wait and see if people figure out, oh wait, that was him. Yes, that was him. So one of those, but any of those are really good. And actually, of the non-Warner's records, I really like Musicology.
It's a good record.
So if you're going to go for a post-Warner's record, I would go for Musicology because Crystal Ball is really hard to find. But I would go with Musicology. And that'll be it, I think.
Okay. Thanks, Tuffley. Who's next?
I don't have much, so I can go quick.
Go, JJ.
Dirty Mind's also a very fun record. It's really raw.
And if you're doing it with the time record, it's the same time period, and it's almost the same session. So.
This is out of date. It's been out for a while, but earlier this year, Anthrax put out a new record for All Kings. I'm a thrash metal guy.
I heard it's really good.
It really works for me. It's a really solid thrash metal album. It's not going to, if you didn't like Anthrax before, you're not going to like this one. It's not like they tread any new water, but it's a very solid album. And the other thing I will recommend is that we are now 3 issues into a new Power Man and Iron Fist series.
Oh God, that's fun! I love that show.
So wonderful. It's written by a Portland writer, David Walker. He just got off of Cyborg for DC, but his take on Power Man and Iron Fist is it's so. It's almost jarring in the case of Iron Fist because he goes back from being sort of a contemplative character to being kind of a goofball, but he's also trying to get under Luke's skin the whole time, so it makes sense. And it's nice to have a comic that when you read it, you realize when you finished it, you had a smile on your face for 22 pages, and that just doesn't happen very often. So love that book. So I think that's it for me.
All right. Thanks, JJ. Who's next? That would be Rob.
Okay. Let's just put it this way. The link between David Bowie and Prince is Little Richard. So, since we're talking like old men, most people haven't actually heard a Little Richard record, which is horrible. But I urge you to go back and find his 1958 just self-titled record, Little Richard, Little Richard. You will hear you could totally hear Little Richard now in Janelle Monáe. You can hear him in Prince. You can hear him. His thumbprints are all over music right now, but yet nobody pays any attention to Little Richard. So, there you go. Little Richard. and he's still amazing live. He's got 2 hip replacements, and he still is pretty incredible live. So I do want to recommend that. And then I also do want to recommend Pitch the Sky, the new record from Bob Mould, which is really, 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 really good.
Oh, yeah.
Also, the new PJ Harvey, I think I talked about that a little bit ago, the Hope 6 Demolition Project. It's, after the last record, I didn't think another record by her would be on par with it, but it's also really good. And then I'm going to throw a bit of a curve to kids that like the shoegazer music or the sort of muddled, murky stuff. I'm going to go with a band from California called Gasta Berling, and they have an album called Winterland. So I want to go with that. And yeah, so, and if you got it, I think Tuffley's pretty spot on with Prince records as well. So I can't really beat that. But I will go with what's the one with Raspberry Beret on it, Tuffley? Yeah,
Around the World in a Day.
Yeah, I'll go with that one because that's the one I've been sort of going to in the last week. And
that one actually has Pop Life is my favorite Prince song ever.
That's
and
a great
it's
song.
Which is on that album.
What's interesting about Around the World in a Day is that it went in a completely different direction than people thought it was going to go. I mean, it was kind of thought of as a disappointment when it came out because it wasn't anything like he'd done before, and it was almost like Prince's version of Sgt. Pepper.
It had a psychedelic flavor to it,
and it totally was good to see him doing something where he's wearing his interest on his sleeves like that so blatantly. So I'm gonna go with that one. Although if you get any of the hits albums, I mean, this came up the other day that sort of like him and Madonna were sort of neck and neck in #1 singles between '84 and '86, just trading off. And the catalog is deep. And Tuffley, what I hadn't realized I until this last week is, I mean, I knew he was a musical genius that could play instruments and make all these great songs, but I just looked at Prince this week as a lyricist, sort of just like stripping away the music and reading lyrics, right? And just as a lyricist or as a writer, he just really had a sense of writing prose for music that other people at the time didn't have, which is really, I think, an intrinsic part of his style, outside of taking parts of gospel, blues, and soul, and pop, and rock, and throwing them all together. So yeah, that's what I'm going with.
I found myself talking about albums you've been leaning on, just because you're like, holy shit, how's he going? I've been for some reason playing Diamonds and Pearls.
Yeah, that's good too.
Yeah.
That is such a it's a almost a poppier album in the fact that it almost feels like it's just a collection of singles, but they're just so fucking well written.
Yeah, I mean it's literally there's no, the thing about that record too is that it's got momentum and it just doesn't relent, which is really hard to do.
It's kind of like it's the Symbol album, I guess you would call it. That album is like rambling and uncontrollable, which is why I kind of like that album, because it should have ended and then peters on for like another half hour.
And somewhere in the middle of that record is The Morning Papers, which is probably one of the best Prince songs lyrically.
Yeah. Also, if your YouTube now is, because Prince clips have come back, I highly recommend seeking out the Muppets Tonight video of Starfish and Coffee. It's one of my favorite clips, and it's been gone for a while because Prince declared the internet dead.
Well, it's not even just that, but just his interaction with the bit where he's on a fake hee-haw show with Muppets and is basically chased away by an alligator Muppet like twice.
Yeah.
He is. I had no idea. He was a funny guy. Holy shit, he was hilarious.
Yeah, and he never took himself too seriously, which I think is something that's kind of come out lately, as well as the whole thing with, there were times when you'd go to Paisley Park and people would like hang out there, and you never knew when it was actually going to happen. But he'd come out and just be like, "Hey, you want to get some coffee?" And have people in for coffee, and he'd just play guitar for them. He goes, "Okay, you got to go." Just all these little stories. And he used to go into, it's online somewhere, Tuffley. There's a really great record store in Minneapolis called Electric Fetus, and apparently he used to go in and record shop like all the time.
Yeah.
And the staff would just be like, "Oh, hey Prince, how you doing?" You know, but the people there like saved his receipts of the records he bought, and it's sort of
write stuff on the receipts.
Yeah, it's kind of an interesting, fascinating little thing, and I know. The weird thing about him going door to door as a Jehovah's Witness, that also would have been incredibly weird. So, but my other last favorite Prince story is someone once asked Eric Clapton how it felt to be the best guitar player in the world, and he said, "I don't know, ask Prince." Which I think is pretty funny. So, but yeah, I think you're right. He had this really fun sense of timing and comedy. I think he really appreciated sort of comedy, and as a reprieve, like even when you see Purple Rain, some of the best bits of Purple Rain are the comedy bits in it, and they're all like perfectly placed in the movie, which I think is also kind of interesting.
And you can tell by the way he's enjoying himself, obviously, on the Muppets Tonight set, that he's got to be a Muppets fan, because that is not the look of somebody who is, oh, I'm just here to guest star and whatever else. He's obviously having a good time.
All good people are Muppets fans.
Absolutely.
Yes. The other thing I would find on YouTube too is the clip of him and Stevie Wonder when he played guitar on Superstition.
Well, that and the
My Guitar Gently Weeps from the Earl Hall.
Yes.
Yeah. That will burn your face off.
Which is like what, him and Tom Petty and who else? And Jeff Lynne.
Jeff Lynne,
yeah.
George Harrison's son.
Yeah.
And somebody else. There's like one other one.
I think it's Dylan.
Oh, Steve Winwood.
Okay.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
Yep. Okay. Cool. Thanks, Rob. All right, John, what have you got?
An attention span disorder.
Is John still there? We've lost John.
He's running to watch Casablanca.
Oh. What, so we can pan it again?
Exactly.
All right. Fine.
John would like to recommend the Batman soundtrack.
No, John, I cannot hear you. Well, he asked him. Okay, he says, imagine I said something witty. Oh, John, you're such a card.
Hey, WEJ.
Hey, Rob.
I forgot to ask you this before. Have you heard the weird Les Claypool Sean Lennon record yet?
No.
Oh, yes, that is out. I forgot that was coming out.
Yeah, remember a couple of weeks ago when I texted you and said I need you to hear something, but I forgot what it was? That's what it was.
One of the 20,000 things Les Claypool has put out in the last year.
The Claypool Lennon Delirium.
Yes.
Yeah.
I have to seek this out.
It's actually they're touring, and it's actually really, it's everything the Flaming Lips wish they could be, and better. It's just great.
Also, the fourth album Sean Lennon's put out this year.
Wow.
And it's still early.
That's pretty crazy. All right, I gotta seek that out. Okay. For my recommendations, I will. Oh, and by the way, as John so wittily said just a few moments ago, yep. Oh God, I'm crying just thinking about it. It's so funny.
What a card.
I know. Needcoffee.com/Amazon is the URL that you can go to, and if you're going to buy stuff from Amazon, buy it. If you're going to do it anyway, do it through us. It's basically the same. Takes you to the same place, and we get kickbacks. We thank you in advance. So I would say also, I mentioned this at the top of the show. Find the Prince Miles Davis collaboration song.
Yes.
God, it's so good.
Why is that not released?
I know. So find that. And as far as I mean, because
and the rights are all fucked up because he left no will.
Oh, what?
Yeah.
Oh shit!
Reportedly, is his family, his sister is claiming he didn't.
Well, it's
actually
also
hasn't.
his manager and on the label are both saying they haven't
Oh,
found
okay.
Yeah,
Oh shit!
Does that mean Warner's gets the rights again?
I don't know.
Hmm.
And here's an important question.
Tough
What
that I
is
think
this?
you and I should get him.
Yeah, what does this mean for the time?
Yeah.
Because they had to change their name because they actually wanted to put out stuff and tour without Prince's approval, and now the question is, do they get their rights back?
Yeah, I don't know. And the Revolution are going to tour.
Yes, the Revolution is going to tour.
Wild.
Sorry. Sorry.
No, you're fine.
And apparently the water will be ready.
So,
come on, give me that one.
That was funny.
I gave it to you. I gave it to you.
That's one of those times where Tuffy and I tell jokes that only each other get. It's fine.
I would say that since Sign of the Times is already spoken for, I'm probably going to have to go with Purple Rain, just because Let's Go Crazy was just one of my favorite Prince songs, because it was, well, nuts, and had blistering guitar and all kinds of good stuff. And there's other good tricks in it. What's that?
That guitar at the end is...
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, absolutely. So I got to go with that. I will say I do like, if you want to just get a nice Prince buffet, the Hits and B-Sides compilation is pretty nice. So you can check that out if you are somehow ignorant of Prince. So there's that. I will, let's see, other stuff. I ran across the grandmothers, which are what the Mothers of Invention from Frank Zappa basically evolved into, and a album which is from I don't know, like 10 years ago or something like that. It's called Grandmother's Night at the, and I'm going to pronounce this horribly, Jawand House. But go with how that sounds. It's phonetic, again, like photographer. But basically, it's a live concert of them performing Zappa songs, and it sounds great. So I dig that. And I think I mentioned there's certain musicians that I've not really explored that I'm kind of doing a deep dive on, and one of them is Mingus. I never really... Yeah. Now, he can do that. He can do, at times, that jazz thing where you get so far out that you leave me behind,
Yes,
where
he does that.
too many people sound like they're playing a different song at the same time, which I think is what people who badmouth jazz think of, and I'm like, no, absolutely not.
Go with the early Mingus, though.
Oh yeah, so that's what I was going to recommend is the 1956 album Jazz Composers Workshop.
Mm-hmm.
That's quite nice. There's a lot of good ones, but that one struck a chord. So I recommend that one. Yeah, I think that would have to be it. So, since we have managed to get to the end of another episode of Weekend Justice, and at this point, a new episode of Weekend Justice finally went up today as we record this.
Yay!
Yay! The drugs are working. Then I think we should take a moment before we all go to our own scattered bodies and look around in a moment of rare self-introspection and simply say, yes, I am a Top Gear host. I mean, we might as well be. There's so many.
Yeah.
Why would you want to be a Top Gear host if you can just be the Stig?
Because I want to get in a fist fight with Matt LeBlanc.
You know, I would pay good money to see that. That'd be awesome.
Coming to pay-per-view next year.
JJ, you do realize that would
just
be...
let me hold him while you hit him. That's all I ask. Just
No, Rob. It would be like in the Jason Bourne trailer where JJ steps forward, there's one knock, and he's down.
Wait, so you're saying Matt LeBlanc's character in episodes isn't entirely fictional?
See, I want a world where they play that clip, but it's slow motion, and they play the theme from Chariots of Fire to it. You know, you just get to see JJ just give him the roundhouse, you know, and then you have to do a suplex though too.
Well, to be completely honest, if we were going for financial security here, I'd probably let him hit me just because he's got friends' money.
Well, in
Well,
theory,
sure.
yeah.
Yeah, I don't think anyone can blame you for that. Although I think Rob does need to see that slow motion Chariots of Fire clip playing on the big screen in Times Square. I would want to.
No, I can play that at Coachella.
That could be on the main stage.
Yeah.
Don't give the hologram people ideas.
But then, yeah, you could still do it, JJ. But if anyone asks what it was, you just say it was performance art. Don't you get it?
There you go.
Yeah.
It's time-based art.
Yes.
I was in the moment thinking, what would Shia LaBeouf do?
It's like that. It's like the what was it the award-winning art installation in Britain that was basically an unmade bed, and two people decided, oh fuck this nonsense, and started jumping up and down on it. Which, you know, how can you not enjoy that? All right, that's it. I think we're done.
Word.
Are we?
I think we're done. Yes, and I'm tired because I was dealing with the insurance company today.
Aww.
Sorry.
Well, you know, at least they took responsibility for it. So
That's nice.
yes, that's nice.
A, you need a hug. B, you probably need yet another session at Brian's, actually.
Brian, the therapy estate
Yes.
with his crazy. Yeah, for those who have not been there, Brian has his lights in his house set up through what is
The
it?
Wi-Fi.
Through the Wi-Fi to basically change the amount of light they give in, mirroring the clouds that are in the sky above his house.
That took a lot of doing. That took a lot of. There was a couple of him talking to Alexa trying to get that fixed.
Wow.
There was a lot of that.
And it was great. Rob, you would have appreciated it because Lee would say to Alexa, "Oh, play." I forget what it was, and I would just go over nearer to it and whisper, "Hey Alexa, play the greatest hits of Slayer," or something, and just walk away. And she was so, oh, who's doing that? So just random shit. Play 70s classic hits. Play the greatest hits of Foghat. Something, anything.
So 2 songs?
And one of them's a remix.
Yes.
Oh, God.
And then the other one is Daft Punk is playing at my house, which isn't actually Foghat.
But it's them covering it, which is
It's them
weird as
covering
fuck.
it.
Which would be great.
Oh, God. All right. Let us run away while we still can.
All right.
All
Thanks,
right.
everybody.
Thanks, guys.
Bye.